So not too far now from the parade starting. A little bit of water has gone down just on the top surface, so I'm sure that will dry in within minutes. I say it is very hot. Maximus having a little dance there in the pits, loving his life. So as we sort of look around, so the track looks pretty consistent all the way around. Last week's meeting against Scunthorpe, it rode very well. You know, the track held up really well, and it ended up being quite a grippy track on the outside towards the end. Some fantastic racing last week as well, but I'm sure that'll be more of the same again tonight. I think with the National Development League and the Development Trophy, it's probably doesn't get all its due respect, to be honest. You see there, Jody SCOTT's bike. Nice GM engine there. Say good amount of sponsors as well. Jody, see Arran BUTCHER's bike there at number 2. It's quite interesting to see the sort of the bright colours coming back. It's been a while since riders have sported these bright colours. It went dark for a couple years, but it's sort of reminiscent a little bit of the 80s and early 90s with riders like Andrew Silver and Gary Havelock and stuff like that, so it's kind of nice to see. Calum MITCHELL. So Calum's got a flow yellow colour bike, so I remember that when he's out. But no, it'd be interesting to see how the 2 Kings Lynn reserves get on tonight. Obviously, say they've not been here before. From what they're used to, this is going to be vastly different. Say Cooper Rushen there, keeping cool. You can see his fringe blowing in the wind there. So a lot of these, got to say Nicky Pedersen's probably the trendsetter for these fans in the pits. Usually got a mechanic holding it for him, in truth, but Jody SCOTT there, trying to keep cool, calm, collected. So Jody's ridden here a fair bit, so he's fairly experienced. So he's a good guy to have at captain, and you know, pass that knowledge on. Luke Harrison, obviously here last week with the Scunthorpe Scorpions in their win over the Gladiators, keeping himself cool. Obviously was at Scunthorpe last night when the Gladiators were there. So who else we got? As we venture back down the Centurions pitch, you can see there's Joe, he's ready to go, Kai's ready to go. Obviously no number 2 for Morgan Williams, who's still off injured at the moment. See there Ben Trigger having a chat with Mickie SIMPSON, the mixter. I think Mickey's going to be one to watch for this season. Comes in at a very, very low average for the sort of capability and talent he has on the bike. Quite an exciting rider to watch as well. Venture back there, you can see Charlie Southwick and Ryan Ingram, the 2 reserves. Ryan, a Peterborough native. Pretty long journey for him, but you know, probably one of the most consistently posting people on social media. Does it all himself. Very active with sponsors and fans and stuff. Nice shiny steel shoe there as well. He's been polishing that one pretty good. Nice looking kit as well. So as we pan back round, you can see you know, I think a main thing for tonight is these riders keeping cool in between heats. Luckily, the Plymouth pits looks like it's sort of out of the main direction of the sun at the moment. So, but that's going to play a big difference on how the bikes perform, and you know the jets they'll use in the carb and stuff like that will be a bit different to what it has been in recent weeks with the humidity and heat difference today. But you know, riders like Joe, he'll have it cracked on. So again, it's a good person to sort of have at captain because he can pass that knowledge down to his younger and less experienced riders. You see Mitchell Cluff there with his dad. His dad's joined him last week from Australia for the remainder of the season. So it was good for him to see Mitch get 2 brilliant race wins last Saturday night against Scunthorpe. Mitch has really sort of come into his own now. He's moved down to reserve. Obviously a big ask riding at the number 3 position for your debut season. You see there Max Perry enjoying his season so far, obviously also with the Glasgow Tigers in the championship. Seems to be enjoying himself up there as well. So as the boys get ready to go out, you see Jody SCOTT leading the way, Arran BUTCHER in behind. They'll sort of just go around now and give the crowd a little wave, and sort of they'll probably have a little look at the track as well, just see if they can see any divots or ruts or grooves or anything like that. Anything that may cause an issue or could cause an issue, they'll be looking out for that. Obviously no practice starts at the moment because no helmets on. You see the Centurions just coming out of the pits now. Led out by Kai Ward, Mickie SIMPSON, Joe Thompson. So And we got Ryan Ingram there just coming out of the pits. But no, it should be a good meeting. You know, it's two fairly consistent teams. Obviously, on paper, Kingsland by far look the stronger, especially if you look at the averages. But you know, a lot of the Kingsland riders haven't ridden here before. Well, say a lot of them. Obviously, the two reserves haven't. The others are fairly used to the Coliseum, fairly experienced with it, and obviously Cooper Rushen's not had the best past with Plymouth, but say third time's lucky, so I'm sure tonight will be a better night for the young lad. See the bikes all lining up now, followed out by the mascot Ezra. We're going to do the rider parade now with the introductions to the riders. See Maximus just coming in the shot there. So there we go, Calum MITCHELL, Harrison Rodgers, the two reserves there for Kings Lynn. Cooper Rushen, Max Perry, Cooper Rushen, Arran BUTCHER, and then number 1 we've got Jody SCOTT. So a very good looking lineup there for Kings Lynn. Obviously Jason Pipe, former team manager of Buxton and a few other clubs. Ryan Ingram there, been having a really good season, as is Charlie. You know, the meetings he's done, he's performed well in. Ben Trigger, had a good season so far for the Centurions. Mickie SIMPSON, see their local lad, well, semi-local, he is a Devon lad, but North Devon and Barnstable area. Obviously no rider at number 2, and Captain Joe Thompson there at number 1. Going to need, obviously, Joe to get off to a good start tonight for the Centurions and really sort of get them going from Heat 1. See the riders now just coming around. Going to do a few practice starts. I'm sure some of the Kingsland reserves might try and get a start in the first corner in just to feel the bike break away from underneath them, just to get used to it. So it is significantly different to what they have been used to riding up at the Adrian Flux Arena. You can see the bike's just jumping a bit. They're just dumping the clutch a little bit to feel the biting position of the bike and just see how fierce the clutch is biting. That will sort of determine if they need to wind it in, or you know, if it's a bit too fierce, wind it out a turn or two on the clutch basket. You see, up there got some more starters. It's the one time you want to try and make a good start is on the practice start. It kind of sets you up then before the meeting. Obviously, after this, it's straight into racing. So, you know, they're going to want to try and get the best out of their clutch, and any adjustments that will need it be made pretty swiftly in the pits after this. See there, Calum MITCHELL and Cooper Rushen just going off. We've got Ryan Ingram there. Ryan's been making some fantastic starts this season, actually. Really, really impressive how his starts were in the under-21s, actually. For a couple of his races, he was out in front of some of the bigger names. Obviously, their experience sort of come into play after that, but you know, for the first lap and a bit, he was right there on the pace and making some really good traps. So you see the riders just getting off the bikes now, heading back to the pits. Obviously, heat number 1 will be underway shortly. So any changes to clutches and stuff that will be made now. You know, obviously keeping the clutches cool is paramount. Obviously, with this heat as well, they're going to get a lot hotter, a lot quicker, as are the engines. So keeping them cool, and say they will perform a little bit different. You know, there'll be different jettings, and the setups may change slightly. As we look down through the pitch and see there, young Jaden Bailey, Plymouth local lad, one of the junior riders there with Charlie Southwick. See there, Kai Ward. They all look a little bit red in the face already, don't they? Bless them. But see out on track there, there's our mascot Ezra out on his 125 machine. Been riding everywhere at the moment as Ezra. Isle of Wight quite regularly, up at Lyd quite regularly. I believe Scunthorpe as well. Off at the tapes today. I'm not sure if that's his first time off the tapes. That was pretty good, if it was. Say, local Cornish lad, family links with the club. Been progressing very nicely the last year or so as Ezra. It's that difficult age where the bike's sometimes a little bit bigger, but with growth spurts and stuff, it could be the other way around in a month or so. But no, it's good to see youngsters coming through, especially down this end of the country where there's not a lot of speedway anymore. It's pretty key for the Southwest survival, really, in the long run. But yeah, Ezra's been improving lovely. Seems to be enjoying his riding. Him and his granddad have been travelling around a lot of places. You can see there the clutch cooler on Cooper Rushen's bike. So they're used frequently anyway, usually after heats, but in this sort of weather, you'll see them used a lot on the engines as well as the clutch. Just making sure everything stays nice and cool. Don't want anything overheating, especially engine, because no one wants anything going bang.
There's nothing I can do about it.
You see there, Jody, is that Jody SCOTT? No, that is incorrect. That is Arran BUTCHER getting ready for his heat 1 as a guest tonight for Kings Lynn. Pretty stylish rider as Arran, very smooth and consistent. He had a pretty good meeting here a few weeks ago for the Birmingham Bulls in National Development Trophy action. You see there in the background, Ezra just coming over the checkered flag. So heat number 1 will be underway shortly. You can see the track's already dried out a little bit from where it was previously watered, but as I say, with the weather being in the high 20s, it's going to be an unforeseen thing coming tonight, I believe. I think you'll see quite a bit of the old water truck tonight. You see Ezra just coming in there. There's Jason Pipe, team manager for the Kings Lynn Young Stars. Been around a long time, as Jason, as I mentioned earlier, obviously former manager of the Buxton Hitmen in the National League and Conference League. Also was the National Development League director in 2019, I believe, which he thoroughly enjoyed that job role. See the Centurions there getting ready. Clutch cooler removed by Joe Thompson, all ready for heat number 1. Looks like there Ryan Ingram could be the rider replacement ride for Morgan Williams. We'll get confirmation on that in a minute, but looking by the blue helmet, I would say that's a pretty sure thing. Ryan Ingram is the rider replacement for Morgan Williams in heat number 1. He had a pretty good heat number 1 when he was RR in the Bulls meeting. He actually got a 5-1 with Joe. Made a good trap, and him and Joe rode really well together. So hopefully, same again tonight. So he's definitely not afraid to mix it up, is Ryan. Really enjoying his speedway at the moment. You see there, Arran BUTCHER. We have Arran BUTCHER off gate number 1, Ryan Ingram off gate number 2, Jody SCOTT off 3, and Joe Thompson off 4. And let's see if the racing is as hot as the weather tonight. So, see the start marshal there calling the riders to the tapes. We shall see what heat 1 brings us. And there we go, looks like a good start there from Joe Thompson straight across. Little bit of you see there, really good start from Joe Thompson. Hot on the tail there is Jody SCOTT. See Jody's really trying to push through. Arran BUTCHER back in 3rd with Ryan Ingram at the back at the moment. But very good start from Joe. In fairness, Jody SCOTT not too far off him. Obviously Joe, the highly more experienced rider around the Coliseum, starting to just pull away a little bit now, but you can see Jody's still keeping him honest. Arran seems to be struggling a little bit with locking up coming out the corners in 3rd, but as we pan back onto Joe, stylish, smooth, consistent, looking in complete control of the bike. Looks like, say, Jody is keeping him honest in this race, but I would say, providing any mechanical failures, Joe pretty much has this one in the bag and sewn up. So it looks like it's going to be a 3-3 in heat number 1 with Joe Thompson of the Centurions taking the win. So we will bring you the official race result in just a second. Obviously no denying the winner there. That was Joe Thompson, Centurions captain. And we'll bring the official result now. So there we see Joe Thompson in red in 1st place, Jody SCOTT in 2nd, Arran BUTCHER in 3rd, and Ryan Ingram unfortunately in last. There'll be a little bit of extra time of course now because Ryan will have 2 on the trot. As you can see there again, you can see absolutely flying start from Joe on gate 4. More interested to see what happened here on gate 1 and 2. See how Arran sort of made the jump on, looked like Ryan was trying to have a little nibble there, but Obviously, Arran just having that inside line this early on. Sort of got away. You can see there a few of the lads up. There's a few of the fans enjoying the sun and the racing. See, they're all in the shorts and t-shirts and hats and whatnot. A little bit like watching Wimbledon tennis, I guess. But no, that's a good start for the Centurions. Say Joe Thompson done what he needed to do. It's pretty good heat. If your number one can win heat one, it sort of sets you up for the rest of the meeting. So I'll be interested to see what transpires from heat number two. So this will be the most interesting heat for me, obviously, with Harrison and Calum not having ridden here before. There's obviously no experience. The track's a little bit shorter than what they're used to. But who knows? It could be drop the clutch and they absolutely love the place. But we will see. You see the track there looks pretty good. Obviously a little bit dry, but as we've mentioned many times tonight with the weather, but it looks nice and consistent. During that race then, there seemed to be no issues with bumps or ruts or anything like that, which is always a good start. 500 Club flag there, introduced this season to Plymouth. So as we look to heat number two, very interesting heat coming up. It's these sort of heats, like with heat number 2 and heat number 8, these are sort of like the make or break heats for the season, the meeting. We're on 2 minutes now for heat number 2. You can see there Calum Mitchell first out, followed by Harrison Rodgers. Will be very interesting to see how these two young lads go. See there, just coming out of turn 2 down the back straight. Be interested to see if any of them do a practice start or not. Nope. Straight to the tapes. A few little stretches. So coming to the line now, we've got there's Charlie Southwick. Ready to go. He'll want to have another good performance like he did in the last Centurions home meeting. I think he scored 6+1 or 6+2, but really good meeting. Could have scored a lot more in fairness, was unlucky not to. So a repeat performance from Ryan and Charlie from the last meeting will be key tonight. But as we look at the official lineup for heat number 2, you can see there Charlie Southwick in red off gate number 1, Harrison Rodgers in white off gate number 2, Ryan Ingram in blue off gate number 3, and Calum Mitchell in yellow off gate number 4. Let's see if Calum Mitchell can make a good start from 4. Obviously Joe Thompson, you can see there he's just patting down that rut, which looks like it was the same one that Joe went out of, and Joe made a pretty flying start from 4, which is always a tricky gate around the Coliseum. Obviously with the straights being so short, it's sort of right on the turning line, so usually quite good on the outside to get a build up of dirt, but obviously this early on, different story. But we'll see how he gets on from gate 4. See the start marshal now calling the riders to line, and we will see what heat 2 transpires into. There we go, bikes revving, starter moved and tapes up. Here we go. Great start there from Ryan Ingram and Charlie Southwick. Just what the doctor ordered. Just going to need to ride 4 sensible laps now, and obviously try not to race your teammate, but just keep it on that racing line. See there in yellow, Calum Mitchell just overshot the corner a little bit. It's obviously a little bit slicker out there. You see Charlie Southwick just overlocking there a little bit, but all in all, pretty good going from the Centurions. Say Ryan Ingram leading, Charlie Southwick following up in second, with Calum Mitchell, I believe, in third. So obviously you can see the King's Sim riders are struggling a little bit. Obviously, as we said, vastly different from what they're used to. But Ryan Ingram looking good. Obviously went out in heat number 1, sussed the track out, possibly made a change in that extra time he was allowed between the 2 heats. But no, looking nice and smooth, consistent, and a race win for the night. A brilliant ride there. Fist bump as well from Ryan Ingram. Brilliant stuff. That was a great counter attack there from the Centurions. So it'll be interesting to see how the King's Lim reserves progress through the night. Obviously now they've ridden it, they can make any suitable adjustments to the bike they see fit. But heat 2 winner there in blue was Ryan Ingram. Fantastic ride. So we'll bring up the official race result now. You can see there Ryan Ingram in first, partner Charlie Southwick in second, Calum Mitchell in third, and coming in last, Harrison Rodgers for the King's Lynn Young Stars. So we'll look back at the start again. Now it's absolutely flying start off gate number 3 from Ryan Ingram. Front wheel just lift. You don't want the wheel to lift too high, because if it's lifting too high, it's not going forward, and that was pretty perfect. And say Charlie Southwick to join him there, coming out of turn 2. That was fantastic stuff. You see coming into this next corner, Charlie just slightly overcooked it as he went in. You see there, he just bike run away from him a little bit. Say he's got a similar sort of start to Andreas Johnson, where it's a bit leg traily, sort of hangs off the bike, but no, he held it well, and it was a fantastic 5-1 there for the Centurions. Say, especially with the Kings Lynn young stars, looking so strong on paper, those sort of 5-1s or 4-2s the Centurions can get are going to be absolutely paramount tonight. You know, in hopes of slaying the Kings Lynn young stars. And see Mark Phillips out there with the tractor, just going to pull some of that dirt in. Obviously, with it being so hot, and you know, obviously the track's going to need a bit of water gradually over the meeting. It's important also to pull that dirt back. You're going to get a slick line very, very quickly, and you get that blue groove, which can be great, but it can also be pretty bad. It sort of acts like a rubber, so like, obviously with the tyres being rubber as well, you can get quite a lot of drive from that. See there, the Speedway Riders Benevolent Fund, support your riders. Great cause, obviously do a lot for injured riders, current and retired. Obviously every year have their Ben Fund meeting. I actually attended this year's one at Oxford. It was absolutely fantastic. But as we pan there, you can see obviously where the track is so hard and it's slick, the ruts are creating a lot more quicker. Usually when the track's a little bit more softer, you see riders packing in the dirt a lot more, where when it's a bit drier, you'll see them probably you're not allowed to spin out the backwards anymore, but kicking all the dirt out, and sort of, as I was mentioning with that inside line, when you get the rubber effect, sort of trying to get that same effect from the gates. You see there, Mark Phillips, wind blowing in the hair, loving his life on the tractor. He's got the track record there on the tractor. So we look up to the referee's box there. See Wayne JARVIS is tonight's referee. One of the more favourable referees is Wayne. Very consistent refereeing from Wayne. Always a pleasure to have him down at the Coliseum. See, it'd be interesting to see now if Mark jumps off the tractor and into the water bowser, just to put a little bit of water down. Say the main thing as well will be keeping the dust down tonight as well. Looks like that, yeah. Jumping into the truck, so I have a little bit of water as well. Won't be loads, obviously, because you don't want to swamp the track, so it will make it icy and greasy. But you know, it's obviously needed that it goes down, especially with the hot weather. And I would imagine the meeting tonight will try and be ran through fairly quickly. So a few laps of the watering truck will be necessary for tonight. See there, some of the chalk there for the start line and the inside white line. Pretty cool contraption there. It's a bit like a traffic cone upside down, isn't it? But that's what makes all the white markings on the track. See there, Mark just coming out of turn 1. Southwest Tyre Recycling, obviously the main sponsor for the Centurions this season. As is A&B Potatoes there, who is one of the club's sponsors. But no, say even in Heat 2, obviously with the weather as it is, the track's still looking very smooth, very consistent. You know, it's hard to keep tracks like this on these sort of days in a good sort of state for racing. Obviously, they do become very slick very quick with the heat. So it's good to see that they're not sort of waiting to Heat 4. It's, you know, been 2 heats and Mark sort of doing a bit of track work now just to make sure some moisture does stay in the track. Say that will be key tonight. Nothing worse than racing in a dust bowl. And as we know, Mark does like going around in the truck. He's pretty good at it, pretty quick at it as well. As you see there, you can just see that top layer just sitting on top, where obviously he's pulled that dirt in before he went out with the water bowser. That will sort of soak into that. Obviously, what won't be soak into it a lot, obviously, with the heat and Heat 3, you know, being out fairly soon. But something's better than nothing. As I say, you don't want the track drying out too much too early, because then it will be hard to sort of get the track back under control and get some moisture into it. So it's good to see that the track prep's going on earlier in this meeting. So look up there between turns 3 and 4. See the ice cream truck up there? Sounds pretty good right about now. Wouldn't mind a 99 myself. Let's say I would imagine Mark possibly do another lap or maybe come off now. So, I would say he's coming off now. You can see them putting the white chalk marks there for the gate positions. You can just see there where the shell's gone a bit darker, obviously where that water's sat on top. It's the difference between the greasiness. You can see there it's not sat on top as a greasy sort of substance. It would be more shiny in that case, where you can see here it's sort of started to soak through, which is great going forward, because hopefully that will keep soaking through and create quite a nice dirt line later. So you can see there where it's slick line, it's a little bit more shiny on that racing line at the moment, but obviously as the evening progresses, the racing line will move out wider, I'd imagine. So the fans there, see a few of them with their sleeves rolled off. Obviously, as we said, a very hot evening. They'll all be trying to keep nice and cool and even out the tans. We've got the 2 minutes now on for heat number 3. See Maximus there. Looks like he's digging out a rut there on the centre green, maybe doing a bit of grass tracking, who knows. You see riders coming round to the tapes now. Max Perry there in yellow. Cooper Rushen in white. It would be interesting to see how Cooper adapts this time. As I say, he's ridden Plymouth a couple of times now, and when he's been in front in one race, he's looked dominant and very quick, but finding consistency here has been something that's tampered with him a little bit. But as I say, it's a lot different to what he's used to riding. I think setups have been a main factor of that. But as we look at the official lineup, you can see there Cooper Rushen off gate number 1 in white, Mickie SIMPSON off gate number 2 in blue, Ryan Ingram, Max Perry in yellow off gate number 3, and Kai Ward in red off gate number 4. Kai had a slightly disappointing home meeting in his last one, so I'm sure he'll want to try and make as good a gate as he can off gate number 4 and get across. I know Cooper Rushen he's a pretty tough in these first corners. I saw him in the Speedway GP3, and he's not scared to give a couple of the elbows or put the bike where he wants it. So it'd be interesting to see what he does coming off of gate number 1 and heat number 3. You see the start marshal there calling riders to the tapes. Obviously there is a time limit. The riders have got to be ready to race. So we shall see. See there, the elbows already up. As we just said. But here we go, tapes up. Good start there from Cooper Rushen. A little bit of a lock up there from Mickie SIMPSON with Max Perry following in behind in second. Challenge there now from Kai Ward. Kai Ward gets through. A little bit of a patchy place. Oh, Kai's done very well to hang on to that, but obviously Max Perry has now come back through. So Kai will now look to chase him down with the Kings Lynn Young Stars currently on a 5-1. Mickie SIMPSON struggling a little bit at the back. See there I believe probably a setup change might be in order, but see there Cooper Rushen's got the track absolutely dialed. Made a very good first turn out of his start off gate number 1. Looking stylish, see those tassels blowing in the wind. Looking very good out there, very dominant. A nice lead there. Not sure what's happening to Mickie SIMPSON there, but obviously all eyes on Cooper Rushen at the minute. Looking cool, calm, collected, stylish. Looks like he's having fun out there tonight. It's a good start for Cooper. So, no denying who the winner was there. Cooper Rushen for the Kings Lynn Young Stars. Say it's always vital that if you can have a very good first heat and get a race win under your belt, it sort of sets you for the meeting. 56.13 and a wave there to the crowd. So the official result of that one: Cooper Rushen in first. In second, teammate for the Kings Lynn Young Stars, Matt Perry. Kai Ward in third, and Mickie SIMPSON at the back. So that brings the scores to 9 apiece for the Centurions and the Young Stars. We can see there, let's have a look at Cooper Rushen. You can see there the elbows are sort of up, ready to go. Fantastic reaction time. Bike didn't lift too much, just drove to that first corner. Looked like they're actually, looking back on that Cooper Rushen's back wheel could have just caught Mickie SIMPSON's front wheel a little bit and offset. And obviously Mickie being quite a tall rider, the sort of counterbalance in the bike and the sort of weight ratios are a little bit different to maybe a smaller rider. But see the riders now coming out for heat number 4. See Ben Trigger there. He's unlucky not to get a full maximum in his last appearance for the Centurions at home. Just missing out with a fantastic pass from Tom Spencer in Heat 15. But a very respectable 14 points for Ben Trigger in the last meeting. You see the riders there, Calum Mitchell in yellow, lining up as well. So as we look at the official Heat number 4 lineup, we see there Calum Mitchell off gate 1 in yellow, Ryan Ingram off gate 2 in blue, Luke Harrison, who obviously rode here last week, off white in gate 3, and Centurions Ben Trigger in gate 4 in red. So a few ruts appearing now. You can see Ben there just sort of picked one out and just letting the clutch bite, just to sort of get a bit of traction at the back of the at the rut, so when they roll down into it, just gives them a little bit more of a boost. We've seen a few good gates from the outside, especially that Heat 1 with Joe Thompson, so Ben Trigger obviously probably took a note of that, and he's going to want to try and make as good a start, if not better. So with Luke Harrison riding here last week as well, he's going to have, you know, it was fairly hot last week as well, so he'll have a half decent setup, I would imagine. And say it was a hot one last night, like Scunthorpe, obviously different track, but keep him busy, consistent, so it's race ready. So the start marshal now calling riders forward to start heat number 4. So riders all set and ready. Green light on, and we're off. See there, Ryan Ingram just getting up to Calum Mitchell there was good. A few little elbows there from Calum Mitchell. You see Ben Trigger coming around the outside of Luke Harrison. So there was a pretty good move there from Ben. He just need to keep on the racing line now and ride 4 smart laps. Not a lot of dirt out there at the moment for overtaking manoeuvres. Oh, looks like Luke Harrison's broke down there. Ryan Ingram's gone through. That's great for the Centurions. Ryan Ingram now in second. Unfortunately, Luke Harrison had an engine failure, but fantastic stuff. Just need to say, ride 4 sensible laps now. The race is pretty spread out, so just consistency is key. No heroics, and just ride home for the points. See Ben Trigger there. Probably no one in the history of British Speedway at least has done more laps around here than Ben Trigger, and you know that obviously tells. You can see his style and his racecraft is very well suited to the Coliseum. Great win there for Ben Trigger, followed in blue by Ryan Ingram. That was a little bit of lady luck on our side there. 4-2 into a 5-1. Great stuff. But no, it's always good, you know, sometimes in Speedway you need a little bit of luck, and unfortunately that comes with someone else's bad luck, but as is Speedway, wheelies there from both the boys. Very impressive. So we'll bring you the official race result now of heat number 4. You can see there it was a win in red for Ben Trigger. In second, Ryan Ingram in blue. In third, in yellow, was Calum Mitchell. And unfortunately, breaking down there with no points was Luke Harrison. So we'll look back at this start now. So it was a pretty even start really for the 2 on the outside. And it was an even start for the 2 on the inside. See, there was a bit of elbows from Calum Mitchell, but Ryan got across him, as did Ben Trigger coming into the entry to 3. And yeah, I'm not sure what happened with Luke's bike then. Maybe we can find that out in due course. But you see there's the issue. Hand up just to let the riders know behind he's hit a technical issue. Ryan done quite well to miss him, in fairness. It could have. It's always a little bit sketchy breaking down on that part of the racetrack, but no, great stuff. We look at the gate stats now. You can see there 2 wins from gate number 4, 1 from number 3. Nothing from gate number 2 and 1 from gate number 1. So gate number 4 looking like the best. As I said a heat or 2 ago, the outside gates are looking predominantly better. 50% obviously of the wins coming from heat gate number 4 at the moment. So as you see there in the Kings Lynn pits, everyone trying to keep cool. You can see that sun's just starting to peer around the corner now. Good shot there of Kai Ward. So it was an unlucky ride for Kai in that first one. Say he worked his way into second and just hit a rut or maybe a soft patch on the track, which obviously relegated him to third. Mickie SIMPSON was unlucky also. Just had a tough first corner with Cooper Rushen, but That is Speedway, unfortunately. You've got to take the bad with the good and the good with the bad. Got a few more heats left yet to redeem himself. Captain Joe Thompson there, great first ride from him in heat number 1. Quick time as well. See there Mitchell Cluff in the background keeping himself busy within the pits. See there Ryan Ingram, obviously a last in his first one, but then a race win and a paid win in that last race, heat number 4. So good start from Ryan, 5+1 from his 3 outings so far, fantastic stuff. You see there lead trigger Ben's dad tightening up the back wheel, or loosening it off, should I say. Could be a few different setup changes here. Could drop a tooth or so on the sprocket. Could lose a chain link in the chain and shorten the back wheel up a little bit. Could link, you know, each to their own. Everyone has a slightly different way of doing stuff. Obviously with counter shut, it looks like there he's changing the sprocket. We'll see if he's well, he might actually be turning the wheel. See, that's something that's a lot. You see a lot more now, even at lower league speedway. Is obviously you've got the race edges, so you see a lot of riders will turn the wheel after a race. So in the next one, he's just got that little bit more tread, and then the following race they'll turn it back the other way, just so one side doesn't wear out as quick as the other. Obviously, especially with the track like it is today, it's going to eat through the rubber, and they're going to need the best sort of traction they can get. So, see there, Barry Bishop talking to Ben Trigger. Hi, Dadley on the spanners there, changing the back wheel. See there, Gary looks like one of the Blues brothers in his sunglasses. Up there with Mickie SIMPSON and Ryan Ingram. He'll just be trying to keep the lads, you know, calm and that. And it's obviously up by 4 points at the minute, but still a long way to go. But he'll just be trying to keep their head down, you know, their heads up, and keep them focused. Make sure they got plenty of fluids in them and they're keeping cool. So it's pretty hot anyway for anyone, but especially when you're wearing body armor and race suits, it's pretty horrific. See there, Mark back out on the tractor. Got the blade slightly just, as you see, set up to the side, so that will just bring that dirt back in from the outside. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another Walter. Say it was after heat 2 we saw the last track prep. A bit more now after 2 more heats. So usually where you sort of see it every 4 heats, but obviously as we've mentioned with the weather being so hot, it's going to need a little bit more TLC tonight with the track. See Mark there, hopefully he's got his sun cream on, because he's pretty exposed in that tractor, isn't he? But no, I say the track's still looking pretty good. You can just see there the way the blade is set up, pointing inwards. You might get a good view of it in a minute, actually. You just see that dirt trail coming off. It just pulls it all back in. See there, Jason Pipe talking to Luke Harrison. Be interesting to see what went on with Luke's bike there. I say he was having a good race until he had mechanical gremlins. Jason Pipe there, drinking some water. You obviously want to keep nice and cool as well. It's a pretty hectic job for the team managers as well, in truth. Obviously, running around, filling your program in, and you know, making sure everyone's doing what they need to be doing at the right time and whatnot. It's speaking from experience, it's not a walk in the park. Just think it's filling in the program. It can be pretty grueling stuff as well. See there, Luke Bailey, one of the sponsors for Joe Thompson and Ryan Ingram, just walking into shot. See Barry there, just going out onto the track. He'll just want to keep vocal with Mark, and obviously he'll keep vocal with the team. The boys will sort of tell him what they want and what, you know, what they think, and sort of discuss that with Mark, and sort of, you know, come to a sort of mutual point. See there, Barry. Yeah, Plymouth Blues brother, Barry Bishop. Who'd have known? See there, talking to one of the track staff in the tractor. As you can see, where the Mark was out last time with the tractor where it had the blade that pulls it in, but then you sort of need, as you can see on the back of the yellow tractor, it's a bit more of a flat grading system, so that just sort of smooths it out, just avoids any sort of ruts or, you know, any patchy bits being created from track grading, especially with the track being so slick and so hard. It can be prone to rutting up a little bit more. See there, one of the flag men. Obviously one of the Plymouth faithful with the old volunteering. Very good volunteer base down here at Plymouth. Very loyal, have been for a lot of years, which is always good to see. See another tractor coming into shot there. Looks like Chris Roynan on that one. Obviously former rider and father of Adam Roynan. who we see more these days on the British Speedway network. See there, just going around. You can just see where that sort of dirt was dropped off by the tractor Mark was on, where Chris has just gone over. It's flattened it a bit, so that will just stop any build up and any unwanted parts filling the wheel. You just see Mark there. Actually, looks like he's helping get the tractor. We're going to go to a previous heat race.
New rider on the inside, of course. Sam McGurk off of 2 in white, Ben Trigger off of 3 in blue, and Tom Spencer off of yellow in 4. Third time lucky here in heat 15 as the tapes are ready. The tapes go up, away they go. Trigger has made a good start this time. It is Ben Trigger who leads, but coming round the outside is Tom Spencer. He goes right round the outside of Ben Trigger. So that's a good ride from Tom Spencer to get into the lead.
Sam McGurk with it all to do. He needs to get past Ben Trigger if they're going to get the bonus points. Trigger, he's got to keep his eyes behind him and also try and close the gap on Tom Spence, but as I said, he just needs second place really, just needs to hold on to what he's got.
He's having a good go here, Ben Trigger, as he goes into bend 3, throws it sideways, tries to tuck it up the inside, but Tom Spencer's riding a good line here. Ben Trigger's really close to Tom Spencer in the late stage of this race. He's going to try and generate some speed for this last turn, Ben Trigger. He's going to turn it up the inside, he almost turns it inside out there. He's not going to manage it. It's a 4-2 to the Birmingham Bulls here. A great win there for Tom Spencer. And it was a win in yellow for Tom Spencer. 3 points to him. 2 points to Ben Trigger there in blue. 1 point to Sam McGurk.
As you can see there, heat 15 from the previous Centurions meeting. It was an absolutely fantastic last race, with the Centurions coming out victorious and also clinching the bonus point from Birmingham by a point. But no, it really was a fabulous overtake there from Tom Spencer down the back straight. See there, Kai Ward getting ready for heat number 5. So I want to sort of redeem himself after a slightly, well, as will Mickie SIMPSON really. They're both very unlucky in that heat number 3. Both sort of thereabouts early on and just sort of come into a bit of bother. It sort of dampened the rest of the race for him, but say still early days yet. The lad's got 3 program rides left each. Obviously, of course, potentially nominated heat in heat 15. See there a little bit. You can see that obviously there is a bit of moisture in the track, because you can see it sort of there on the underside of the engine and on the bottom of the Kevlars and boots and stuff. So, which is good to see. Mark's currently going around with some more water again, which is great. You can see there it's just coming to shot now. So it is key that the track stays watered. Say especially in this heat, it can be the difference between a good racetrack and a racetrack where you're going to get some incidents and stuff. But say the water just going off now. Mark driving back over there through the machinery pit gate. And heat number 5 should be coming up pretty promptly. See there, Joe Thompson and Ryan Ingram. Got a pretty good working relationship, as they have a riding relationship. Ryan very active in the Speedway community at this sort of stage of his career. As I say, he's got a few guest appearances he's done this year and a few more booked in. Charlie Southwick there. I just read that Charlie's also going to be racing for the Isle of Wight Warriors in the upcoming Isle of Wight season at the Nora 92 stuff. So that's fantastic to see Charlie getting some more laps and some more racing. See there, clerk of the course, Rob Doran. Not sure if he's going fishing after this, but I'm sure that hat's doing a good job of keeping the sun out of his eyes. So see here, Ben Trigger, what we got going on, which is quite interesting, because I know Ben Trigger was on belt drive for a while, but you can see there he's switched back the chains. So the sprocket, you could see his dad Lee playing with there as the engine sprocket. Just be interesting to see what they're doing there. So it could be maybe the chain a little bit loose. It could be a number of things. Could be a little bit of dirt or grease built up in the clutch guard. So just getting that out. See Charlie Southwick there. So you see Jason Piping, Arran Butcher. 2 minutes has now just gone on for heat number 5. So we'll see some riders coming onto track very shortly. See there, Mickie SIMPSON sporting the Wolf Sport stuff. Very reminiscent of Simon Wigg. See there, Jody SCOTT first out on track. Jody had a good first ride against Joe. He's sort of there or thereabouts. See, Joe made that absolutely brilliant start off of gate number 4, which, as we saw earlier on with the stats, has been the so far this meeting has been the more dominant gate with 50% of the wins. See, Jody fairly experienced now, currently sporting a 10.32 average, which is a fantastic average at any level of speedway. So as we look at the official lineup now for heat number 5, you can see in red is Kai Ward off gate number 1. In yellow off gate number 2 is Arran BUTCHER. In blue off gate number 3 is Mickie SIMPSON. And in white off gate number 4 is Jody SCOTT. So riders being called now to the start line. See there, Jody SCOTT just giving the rut a little pack in. See, where it's been watered, there's a bit more moisture. You might see some of the riders kick some of that softer dirt in and then pack it in with the steel shoe to make it shiny. Just gives them a little bit more traction off the start. A few different theories on what makes a good start. Obviously that's the one that works for Jody. Then you'll just see them run their bikes across it just to get some traction from the tyre on the back. Just gives them maximum drive going forward. See there, Kai Ward off the inside there. Now running into his rut. So nice there. Like you see, just letting the clutch bite a little bit, spin it out, just get the back tyre a little bit hotter, just giving that a little bit more of a drive. But we'll see how we go now. Good even start from all the lads there. Great start from Arran BUTCHER off gate number 2. Hits the front with Jody SCOTT. Oh, Mickie SIMPSON and Jody SCOTT coming to a little bit of bother there. Tell you what, Jody SCOTT done very well to hang on to that. Obviously you saw Mickie SIMPSON spin and sort of Jody was sort of there for the ride. Not really a lot he could have done about that, but that could have been very nasty though, because it was just off the air fence, so he could have caught his foot or his hand or anything like that. But we wish hopefully Mickey's okay as well. Obviously we'll bring you updates as soon as we have them. See a few riders. So the referee's currently watching the replay to see what the result will be there of heat number 5, if it will be an exclusion or all 4 back. But Jody SCOTT seems to be in a bit of pain there. You can see him holding his foot. Obviously no steel shoe. I mean, obviously the boots are very padded, but no steel shoe or anything on that one. So you get caught between a bike and the fence. It's not usually the nicest feeling in the world, but wrong place at the wrong time, unfortunately. There you see the referee, Wayne JARVIS, there coming down to the pits. Jody's back up on his foot, seems to be good. He could have, because the boots have an insole inside, so you sort of, it's like a little slipper you wear on your foot, then you put it into the boot. So it could have been that's just come out a little bit, or the boots just, you know, come a bit unadjusted, and he was just sort of altering it. But seems to be walking on it fine there. See Max Perry and Joe Thompson at the pit gate, looking out. Be interesting to see what the referee's decision will be regarding that one. So you can see Joe Thompson and Jason Pipe there just off to the left. Max Perry, obviously a teammate of Joe's brother Dan up at Glasgow. Had a spell with the Pool Pirates last year, but this year having a pretty good season so far with the Glasgow Tigers. See Wayne JARVIS there just come from the truck to watch the replay. So shortly I'm sure we'll see what his next plan of action is regarding the outcome of that. Mickie SIMPSON walking back to pits, it's good to see. So obviously you don't want to see anyone hurt, good to see everyone walking back. So I don't know if Mickie just sort of lost traction there, where obviously the track had been watered previously. That could have just, you know, hit a bit of a soft patch and spun round. Say, obviously being a taller rider and sort of got that leg trailing style, there's a lot more of him than there is bike. So you can see some of the taller riders are prone to spinning around and stuff like that a lot more than some of the shorter guys. But no, we'll see what the result of that will be going forward into heat number 5. See there, Ben Trigger warming up Mickey's bike. So maybe at the moment we'll have all 4 back. So it was a hard one to call because there was a lot going on. Arran Butcher sort of made a good gate and got across Kai Ward, and you know, sort of Jody was having a good run around the outside. So Kai Ward apparently has been excluded from the rerun of heat number 5. I must admit, because there was so much going on in that race, I didn't actually take notice of Kai Ward being caught up in any of that, but we'll see now in the replay. Obviously, that's a tough one there. I'm honest, I'm not entirely sure what Kai done wrong. If I'm entirely honest, from that angle at least. See Barry Bishop there on the phone with Kai Ward there. You can see a few of the King's Lynn riders coming round, and Jason Pipe also talking to Kai Ward. Not sure if the referees just made a decision with the wrong rider there. Might have just got a bit mixed up, but we'll see. Say Kai wasn't really, he locked up a little bit, but didn't run into anyone or anything like that. So a bit of a strange decision, to say the least. But we shall see. So look at this again. You see Kai there at the back at the moment in red. I don't know what Kai done wrong. He was on his line, didn't move off his line. Strange. But then again, this is Speedway and stranger things do happen in Speedway, so there we go. Got a feel for Kai Ward there though. Obviously having a bit of a hard one in his heat number 3 when he got up into second, and then just lost a bit of ground. And obviously there an exclusion of quite a random one in truth, but there we go, we move on. We'll see Kai again a little bit later on in heat number 9. But now we're all about getting ready for the rerun of heat number 5 with only 1 Centurion. And obviously a lot harder job now for Mickie SIMPSON because there's only 1 of him out there. So at the very least, he's going to want to try and split the King's Lynn Young Stars. But Jody SCOTT looking very impressive in heat number 1, and also Arran Butcher being fairly experienced around the Coliseum. As I say, did have a short spell with the Gladiators during the COVID season, where Plymouth was one of the only tracks to operate during COVID at less capacity. But as we look at the official lineup now for heat number 5, you can see no rider off gate number 1 with Kai Ward and red being excluded. Off gate number 2 in yellow is Arran Butcher. Off gate number 3 in blue is Mickie SIMPSON, and off gate number 4 in white is Jody SCOTT. Good result there for good gate there for Jody SCOTT, with most of the heat wins coming from gate number 4 tonight. So sub Ben Trigger joined me asking why Kai was excluded, so there we go. Tapes up. Pretty good solid start from all 3 of the boys. Great start from Arran Butcher. You see there Mickie SIMPSON chasing hard in second. He's going up into first. He's just going to have to watch it. Oh, bit out of shape there. You can see now Jody SCOTT's come through. Looks like Arran Butcher's pulled up at the back, with Mickie SIMPSON now giving chase to Jody SCOTT again. So I'm not sure if Arran Butcher's pulled over. He could have thrown a chain where he locked up a bit there. That is prone to happen on these bikes. But all about Jody SCOTT at the minute out in front. Red lights have gone on. So we will see what will happen there. We'll see what's happened. A few of the Plymouth fans shouting. Not best happy with the race being stopped, but it happens. Arran Butcher obviously not happy about something. So it was a bit hard. Obviously Mickie made the pass and then sort of got himself into a bit of trouble, and sort of Arran was there. But you know, that does happen in Speedway, and you can't always make a clean pass, and the track be sort of how you want it or the bike to react. The rider in yellow, Arran BUTCHER, has been excluded. 2 riders remaining, so we'll have a second attempt of a rerun. So 3rd attempt in total of heat number 5 with 2 riders. So we got a good old-fashioned match race. So if Mickie can make a start like he did in that last one, obviously he's only got to worry about himself now. We could you say once Jody overtook him, he sort of did catch up again. Obviously after making that initial mistake on turn 3 and 4. See Jason Pipe there getting on the phone. Arran BUTCHER's on the phone actually, which is quite a rarity in Speedway. They don't usually talk to riders much these days. In my experience, it's never usually worth arguing with a referee because once they've made a decision, that's usually it. I must say I've only ever seen one referee's decision overturned where he's gone back on his decision, and that was a long time ago, back when the Exeter Falcons were running at the county ground. Not seen it in recent memory anyway. See Jason Pipe there on the phone now. Rob Doran, clerk of the course, former pit marshal at Exeter Speedway actually for many, many years. So Wayne JARVIS. Not going to be well liked down in the pits at the minute, but as I say, that Speedway 2 minutes is now on for the 3rd attempt of heat number 5. And we've got a good old-fashioned match race between Mickie SIMPSON and Jody SCOTT. So this is where the score lines go a bit weird now, because instead of a 5-1 or a 4-2 or a 3-3, or sometimes a 5-0, we're going to have a 3-2 to someone, if they all stay on, or there's no mechanical breakdowns. But the way this meeting's gone so far at the moment, we could see a slightly, who knows? I can't call it, but say if Mickie SIMPSON can make a good start like he did in that previous staging of Heat 5, he's got a good chance. He just needs to work on that bend 3 and 4. He seems to be getting himself into a little bit of bother there. But say early doors yet. Obviously the sun is another thing that can sort of conspire with the riders. Obviously field of vision and whatnot. But as we look at the official lineup for heat number 5, see no riders in gate 1 or 2. They're both gone. But we've got in gate 3 in blue Mickie SIMPSON, and in white off gate 4 is Jody SCOTT, the Kings Lynn Young Stars captain. So we'll see. Say gate 4's been working predominantly better at the moment so far this meeting. Obviously say early doors yet, but been a few very good starts. You can see there Jody SCOTT packing that down. See there where it's just a bit shinier to the other dirt where he's been hitting his steel shoe with it. But it'll be interesting to see what Mickie can do, because Mickie did make a good start in that last rerun of heat number 5. But let's see if we can get through heat number 5 this time around. 2 riders now being called to tapes. Green lights on. And here we go. Jody SCOTT made a fantastic start there. I mean, in fairness, Mickie made a pretty good start, but Jody just got the edge over him and got across. I would imagine that would probably be Jody long gone now, fearing a fall or a mechanical breakdown. But very stylish rider is Jody. See there, looking very in control, very nice and smooth. Looks good on the bike. Say Mickie SIMPSON back in second. See, you can see the sort of height difference as I mentioned earlier, where Mickey's got that more sort of lanky sort of leg trailing style, where Jody's a little bit more on the shorter side of riders. So he's got that more tucked in style. Oh, and Mickie SIMPSON's just come a cropper. Hopefully he's kept the bike running, which he hasn't. So as I just said prior to that heat, should see a 3-2 unless anything happens, but we're going to see a 3-0. So, the bizarre case of heat number 5. There we go. A 3-0 to the Kings Lynn Young Stars. So, Jody SCOTT, your winner. So that was, I must say, that was quite bizarre. Not seen anything like that for a pretty long time in Speedway. But there we go. Good time there from Jody as well in the 54 seconds. So we'll look at the replay. See there, just got a little bit of a lift there as he comes into bend number 3. See what happens here. Just locked up a bit there. You can just see the back end's gone out and bike sort of stopped a bit. Oh, tell you what, he did bend his ankle there quite bad, didn't he? Kai Ward will be the rider replacement rider for Morgan Williams in heat number 6. Hopefully, a much more productive race from Kai. Get a bit of good luck on his side, hopefully. See the riders coming out now. A few fans set up there, look. Very nice up on turn 3. Let's see their riders coming out now. You see Kai Ward down there in blue. Got a feel for Kai, sorry. With a slightly questionable exclusion in heat number 5. And obviously having a bit of a sort of on-track incident in heat number 3. But as we look at the official lineup now, we'll see there Luke Harrison on white off gate number 1. Joe Thompson off gate number 2 in red. Harrison Rodgers in yellow off gate number 3. And Kai Ward off the outside on gate number 4 in blue. So Kai going off the favoured gate at the minute. 3 race wins coming from gate number 4 so far this meeting. So that's half of them still. So 50% of the statistics. See there, Luke Harrison getting pushed off. Still like to know what happened with, well, it looks like he's changed bikes there, so I don't know if there is an ongoing issue with his first bike. Maybe we'll find out a little bit more about that later on tonight. But at the moment he's under power, so that all looks good. So Luke Harrison coming up to his gate number 1 now. With Joe, so Joe now obviously look to sort of make a gate over Luke and get across him. But Luke's a pretty good gator. Say he rode here last week for Scunthorpe, so he's got some fresh knowledge of the track, despite the breakdown in heat number 4. So riders ready, start marshal goes, and we're off. Great start there from Joe Thompson. You can see Kai Ward's made a good gate off gate number 4. Kai Ward, lovely pass around the outside there of Luke Harrison. Kai Ward now sitting in second. That's more like it from Kai Ward. See there, Luke Harrison, looks like he's probably got the pace there on Kai, but Kai's riding on the line he needs to be on, really. You see there, having a little nibble up the inside. It'll be interesting to see if Kai holds that tighter line next time around that corner, but Joe Thompson, nice out in front. Kai Ward holding his own at the minute. You see he's riding slightly tighter than he did in the previous lap. I say Luke Harrison all over the back of Kai Ward at the moment, but Kai Ward, to his credit, is doing really good. He just needs to keep his cool. Just drifted a little bit there and Luke Harrison's managed to come through, but other than that, it was a great ride from Kai Ward. Obviously a little bit of inexperience there from Kai, obviously with Luke riding in the championship as well, he's used to stuff like that, but a great win for Joe Thompson. And that was also a heat advantage to the Centurions, which puts them up by a couple more points now, which is great. See there, Joe Thompson, your heat winner of number 6. 55.09 was the winning time for that one. It's a pretty quick time considering how hot it is today and how hard the track is. So look at the official race result of heat number 6 now. You can see there it was a win for red, Joe Thompson. In second was Luke Harrison. In third, Kai Ward. And fourth, Harrison Rodgers. Pretty exciting heat. See there, all my eyes are sort of on Joe, but let's see what Kai does here off gate 4, because he made a lovely pass on that outside. Made a pretty even break with Luke, to be fair. He just was on that outside where that dirt's probably just starting to build up now. Just slingshotted him down the back straight, but that was a good effort from Kai Ward. That'll fill him with confidence going forward for sure. So as we look there, you see Cooper Rushen, winner of heat number 3. Be interesting to see what he does now against Ben Trigger. So we'll look at the official lineup for heat number 7. Got there off red of gate 1 number 1 is Ben Trigger. In white off gate number 2 is Cooper Rushen. In blue off gate number 3 is Charlie Southwick. And off the outside in gate number 4 in yellow is Max Perry. So both riders from the inside so far unbeaten. So something's going to give in this one. See the ruts are getting fairly deep there on gate number 1, so it'll be interesting to see what Ben Trigger decides to go off. So you see Cooper Rushen there giving the ground a good old kick. Packing out his rut. See, he's just kicking see it there, he's just kicking a little bit of dirt in. And now just sliding over it with the steel shoe, having a kick somewhere else. Got to have a little kick around, you see on the start, just to see if there's a little bit more tacky stuff or material in a different position on your gate position. See there, Ben Trigger kicking out the inside, which is always predominantly a good gate around Plymouth, but in recent years seems to be the outside. But I'm sure Ben will be fairly confident with his rut choice off gate number 1. So you see the riders coming into line now. See what Ben and Trigger can do. There we go. Great start there from Ben Trigger. You can see Max Perry coming around the outside. Cooper Rushen just backing off into 3rd. But at the moment, Ben Trigger holding the lead. So as you see, Ben Trigger in front, Max Perry in 2nd with Cooper Rushen in 4th. Charlie Southwick, in fairness, isn't too far behind Cooper Rushen. So Cooper's going to not want to make any mistakes because Charlie's not that far behind to counteract with it. But good ride from Trigger out at the minute. Again, going through the card unbeaten as he did in the last meeting to Heat 15. Looking nice and smooth, riding the track well. Good racing line. See there, he's just got the bike hooked up, set up. Obviously, we saw that change he done when he spun the wheel over in the last one, so maximum traction for this one. Just has a little look behind to see how far Max Perry, but he's pretty home and dry as Ben. And we'll see Ben Trigger there just having a little flick of the old arm to celebrate. And it was a great win there from Ben. Say, Cooper, I guess, would have hoped to have had a slightly better race there, but he made a good gate. It's just, say, the track's a little bit different now. So we see that Ben Trigger in red, winner of heat number 7. We'll see the official race result shortly of heat number 7. So as we can see there, in red, in 1st was Ben Trigger, followed in 2nd Max Perry, in 3rd Cooper Rushen, and in 4th Charlie Southwick. So that was a 3-3 to the Centurions, bringing the score now to 21-18 in favour of the Centurions. Have a look at the gate position, the gate again from heat number 7. So obviously a good choice of ruts there for Ben Trigger. See him doing quite a lot of gardening before the race, so it paid off pretty well because he made a flying start. See the riders just getting ready in the replay. See their front wheel lifted, not too high. See him driving forward and just dumped the clutch and he was gone. Fantastic gate there from Ben Trigger. And to get the race win as well. So I'm now going to be joined by Plymouth Gladiators Mitchell Cluff, who's going to join me on comms.
Hey, how are we?
How are we doing?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Yourself?
Enjoying the sun?
Yeah, it's been finally some
Little bit
decent
like
weather in England, yeah.
So how are you enjoying the meeting so far?
Yeah, it seems like some very good racing out there. The track looks really nice. Mark's done a great job, and yeah, it's starting to develop some pretty good races out there.
You're saying earlier, actually, like with the sun as it is, it's quite hard to keep the tracks under control with seeing the regular track grades and stuff with water going down a little bit more than you would in a regular meeting, but it's pretty needed to keep the racetrack going throughout the night.
Yeah, of course, you know, like you got to think of the fans too, just getting covered in dust and just racing as well. If it's just white dust, then it's pretty follow the leader. So Mark's trying his best to give everyone a track where there's some great racing, and with that, if there's a few extra track ratings, then so be it.
Yeah. Let's get confirmation in a minute as well of who the rider replacement rider will be in heat number 8. Charlie Southwick will be the rider replacement rider. You see the riders coming out now for heat number 8. Ryan Ingram just come out on the track, having a pretty good meeting so far, Ryan. Is there anyone that's particularly caught your eye tonight?
Joe Thompson.
Joe Thompson?
Yeah, Joe's in some really good form. He scored really well for us last night in Scunthorpe, and yeah, I think obviously this league he's very, very strong. So
we'll just look at the official lineup now for heat number 8. Off gate number 1 in blue is Ryan Ingram. Off gate number 2 in yellow is Calum MITCHELL. Off gate number 3 in red is Charlie Southwick. And coming off gate number 4 in white is Arran BUTCHER.
I think we can see here Ryan Ingram's got the highest points, but the other 3 are very similar, so should be a very good race, this one.
Yeah, Ryan's been making some pretty good starts as well tonight. So coming off of gate 1, and Ben made a pretty good gate off gate 1 in the previous heat, so it'll be interesting to see what Ryan does from this one as well.
It's all about getting a really good rut here in Plymouth. You know, it's very, very hard packed starts, and you want to try get one of the deepest ruts so you can bounce. So hopefully he's picked the right one there, and it'll be a good match.
Well, you know, you've been making some flying starts yourself lately, haven't you?
Just trying my best.
See the riders there getting ready for heat number 8. Start marshal calling them up to the tapes. So riders now under starters' orders. Oh, another fantastic gate there from Ryan Ingram off the inside. You see Arran BUTCHER just coming around the outside in white. Charlie Southwick as well just got past Calum MITCHELL there in yellow.
Oh, he's run wide.
That was a great start there from Ryan Ingram. But see Arran BUTCHER just managing to muscle his way through and looking pretty dominant so far in this race.
Yeah, Ray Ingram, he's pushing him hard in second place.
So obviously with Arran having that exclusion in his previous race, got the bit between his teeth in this one. But say in fairness, Ryan Ingram not too far behind, so Arran can't afford to make a mistake with 1 lap to go in heat number 8. That sun's starting to drop now coming over turn 2, so it'll be interesting to see if they have a little pause in proceedings. But great win there from Arran BUTCHER.
What a beautiful ride. Nice move in the first corner, and from that he was set off on his own.
That's pretty good. I'd say it was a great start from Ryan as well. He was sort of there or thereabouts in that first corner, but Arran just managing to muscle his way through. And you see there Arran BUTCHER, the winner of heat number 8. Good time as well for tonight in the 55-second mark there. So you see the official result, Arran BUTCHER in white, 3 points. In second, Ryan Ingram. Third, Charlie Southwick. And in last was Calum MITCHELL. Just saying earlier, always look at the replay now. I thought Ryan made a pretty good start off.
Ryan, he makes a good start here. I think he just holds it a little too tight. Nice start. Just Arran gets
could
that
have just
nice
done with
run.
drifting a little bit there.
Arran just gets that nice run and then shuts the door on him there.
You say Charlie got through there as well.
Yeah, that was a nice move. Squeeze past and shut the door.
See, I noticed that with Charlie in the last Centurions. I mean, he's not scared to sort of get across or push his way through. So, no, good stuff there from the boys. Go Bills.
Got some track grading going on now. Try to bring that dirt back, I think, a little bit, and a bit of water.
Yeah, so you're starting to see that slick line sort of appear a bit more prominently now.
I think with the sun also dropping, it wouldn't hurt to have 10-15 minutes track grading, and hopefully you can just get out of the rider's eyes. There's actually a little problem we had last night in Scunthorpe. I haven't seen turn 3 and 4 from heat 2 yet, so completely blinded from entry to exit. So that was something that I was trying to get my head around as well.
Is that the first time you've ridden up at Scunthorpe?
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
Hard. Yeah, it's definitely not the easiest track, but felt like I found something towards the end of the meeting and something to work on if we have to go back, you know. So that's the main thing, some positives, but on the score chart didn't look too nice.
I always find Scunthorpe's very much like Paul. It's hard to go there and have a good meeting because they're so strong at home.
Well, I think the boys, you know, put up a really good fight. Like, you see, look at a lot of the scores, they're doing teams by 20 points and stuff like that. And to lose by 10, I think was a really good effort for the boys. It was just lacking a few points from me and Lasse, and apart from that, you know, we could have even looked at taking points off them yesterday. See
there, Luke Harrison's bike just giving it a bit of clean. See there, the engine sprockets just come off, back on now. Oh, it's Max Perry actually. Confused me with the number 5.
I wonder what went wrong with Luke Harrison's bike in the last
I was saying
one.
that earlier. It's already come out on one bike and then changed, but then
jump.
in his first heat he broke down. So it's
There's nothing worse than when you have them nights and there's nothing you can do. You know, we all prepare the best we can in the workshop, and then sometimes things just don't go right. Looks like Luke Harrison's bike. That looks like his spare bike. There, you got the spark plug cap off. I'm not too sure what's going on there.
yeah, it's
Hard to
interesting.
say.
So not so much in recent time, but I remember there was a phase of riders kicking off the spark plugs while they were riding around and trying to get their foot on the footrest.
Yeah, even just the spray from the rider in front can knock it off. So they've actually Speedway Builds has come out with the new spark plug protector.
I saw that.
Yeah,
It's really interesting.
yeah, it's very good. Obviously, you know, like especially if you're in a wet one, the dirt mud's a bit heavier, a bit thicker, and easier to knock it off. So it's a really good invention, and yeah, I see a lot of riders starting to use it.
See there, you got the spark plug outlook.
Trying to see if it's got any spark, I think. Yeah, winding the back wheel over, seeing if the engine's got any spark.
See a little spark there. You can just see. You see him putting the threads on the metal there just to get a bit of traction. Just looking for that little bit of spark. Obviously, then that will screw into the engine, but.
He didn't have any of these bike problems against us last night.
I bet he didn't. Always the way. We'll be back with you shortly. We're just going to have a quite quick break. So we can see there Ryan Ingram's bike having a little bit of not sure what they're doing there. You see Ben Trigger on the floor. It's hard to tell if he's sunbathing or if he's actually helping with this heat. Oh, that's a bit of dirt. Looked like a crack on his faceplate then. Is that oil catcher?
Looks like his oil catch can's fallen off. Maybe he's just trying to plug the hose.
So one of those things you've got to have on the Speedway bike now. A little bit different to years gone by when the oil used to just spill on the track. They always say that's what used to make the old track so good. They used to bind the shell together a bit better, but yeah, Ben Trigger having a little. His dad Lee's just joined the party as well now. Slightly different angle from Ben Trigger than we're used to seeing, but good to see him chipping in.
Quite a lot of the boys down there you can see sweating. Very nice warm weather today, so
I'm pretty surprised, to be honest, they haven't got the Kevlar's half down and the body armour off.
I thought you'd have a heat wave off in the UK. I haven't seen the weather being this good yet.
Yeah, it's pretty rare. See a little bit more water going down as well now. So obviously your first season in the UK.
Yep.
Done a little bit in Poland. Chesterhover.
Yeah, 3 years in Chesterhover.
So how have you found the transition from under 24 league in Poland to championship racing in the UK?
Quite difficult, to be honest, mate. I went from the biggest track in Poland to the smallest track in England, so just took me a few meetings to get my head around the home track, and of course all the away tracks I've never been to, so just trying to turn up and give it my best. And obviously when we went to Glasgow I had a good meeting there, and then Workington I started alright, but kind of lost me way with the setup. But just try, all the new tracks, mate, and obviously the riders, they've all been here for a few years, so
I mean that's got to be the big thing, hasn't it? Obviously coming this far over, and every track you go to is completely different.
to what you used to. It's the first time you've been on them, so it's obviously, like you say, knowing the setups. Obviously, you can get a little bit of intel from your teammates who have ridden there, but a setup that works for them might not work for you, like, and vice versa. So it's
yeah, exactly. And like in Poland, in my first year, obviously I struggled on quite a few of the tracks, and then the second year I was obviously confident because you've been there. But even for example, like next week we have Edinburgh on the Friday night, which is, I've heard, quite similar to Plymouth, and the very next day we go to Berwick. So if they're not the two most opposite tracks I've ever heard of, so you've got to take the biggest sprocket you got in your toolbox and the smallest one for the 2 days. So yeah, just trying to get my head around all that stuff and big changes. And in Poland, I was never really made too many changes in the last few years. It was just small jetting changes, and I was always there on the money. So when I'm starting these meetings on tracks I've never been to, and I'm way off on the setup, and just learning that you've sometimes got to make a big change. And
I mean, we were talking a little bit last week as well. I was talking to a few of the lads down in the pits, and in regards to Daniel joining the team, and we were saying, like, obviously the tracks he's used to in the Czech Republic are a lot bigger than what Plymouth is, but it sometimes isn't just the track sizes, it's also the materials that are used on the tracks. Like they're very different in Poland to what they are in the UK.
Yeah, for sure. Like Poland's fairly slick, but it takes a lot of power, so it's a certain way to set the bike up. Like I always had a high ignition and low jet and things like that, even though it was very slick, because the starts took a lot of power, where here, for example, Plymouth, the starts are rock hard, so you're trying to kill it as much as you can to get it off the start. But yeah, we're making progress, mate, so that's the main thing, and starting to score some points at home, and just need to pick it up on the away tracks. And
have you found it, obviously coming in originally you were at sort of a heat leader position at number 3, which is, it's hard for anyone in their debut season, especially in the league as it is, because with riders like Nikolai now coming down from the Premiership and stuff, it's a hard field out there. But you've made noticeable change since you've dropped to reserve. Is that a confidence thing, or is it stuff I know you invested a little bit on clutches and stuff, or do you reckon it's a combination of the two?
Yeah, like I think I never got the. Obviously, I thought the start of the season my engines were too powerful, and I had a few clutch issues, and I kind of got them all sorted at the same week that I got put to reserve. So I never got tested at the state number 3, but I think the last 2 home meetings I was beating the 3s and 4s. So I would have liked to see what I would have been like staying at 3, but yeah, it's definitely mentally better because Heat 2 is slightly easier than your first heat at number 3. So going out, getting 3 points in Heat 2 is just a big confidence boost for the meeting, whereas if your shoes on the other foot and you go make 0 in the first race, you got to come back and try and reset and go again. But yeah, just trying to plug away, mate.
And obviously your dad joined you over here last week as well, so that's got to lift you up a little bit more as well.
Yeah, it's good to have Daddy. I was doing it all on my own, which obviously a lot of riders do, but it was just all a big new experience for me. I'd never lived in England before. Everything was new to me, trying to learn things, learn people.
Sure.
But hopefully we can push on for the rest of the season, mate.
Most definitely. So see the riders coming up the tapes now for heat number 9. Bring the official lineup now. So off gate 1 in blue we see Mickie SIMPSON, in white off gate number 2 Luke Harrison, off gate number 3 in red we see Kai Ward, and off the outside in yellow we see Harrison Rodgers.
I think this is going to be a battle of gates 2 and 3 here, mate. Very dominant, I find, gates 2 and 3 in Plymouth.
Yeah.
1 and 4 can sometimes be difficult once the meeting goes on, and looks like the 2 boys in the middle, they got the points, and it's going to be a great race.
We were saying earlier how it's weird how that shifted, because back when I used to ride for Plymouth back in the early 2000s and stuff, gate 1 was the golden ticket. If you had gate 1, you sort of knew. It's a bit like playing on that Speedway Challenge game. You knew you were good off gate 1.
I think gate 1's good early here, but it seems as the meeting goes on that 1 and 4 drop off.
Yeah.
And 2 and 3 get better. I don't know if it's I don't know. I'd like to know, but here we are.
You see the riders being called to action now. Green lights on, and off we go. Say there a good even start there with Luke Harrison getting across there in white. See Kai Ward following up there in second with Mickie SIMPSON, his teammate, in third. See Kai's had a little bit of an unlucky night so far, but he's on the pace in this one and chasing hard after Luke Harrison.
He really seems to have that bike sorted now.
Saying earlier, you can see at the back there, Calum, Harrison
Kai's
Rodgers.
out of shape there.
There's something Kai's been a little bit prone to in his recent outings around here. I don't know if he just gets a little bit nervy or if it's, because, predominantly he rides bigger tracks with the grass track and stuff, so it's a big culture shock. But, I mean, Luke Harrison dominating the race so far. I mean, Kai come on strong early, but obviously, he's still holding that second place nicely, and it's going to be a 3-3. But a dominant win there from Luke Harrison, who had bike problems early on.
Yeah, Luke's been riding really good lately. Been checking the scores, and he's very, very good around Scunthorpe, and he looks fast today.
He was saying as well, like last week when he was down here with Scunthorpe, for a guy that come last in each race, he looked quick in last. It just couldn't seem to find that setup just to nip him out the front.
And that's the hardest thing, there's a lot of people will just get online and look at the scores and it says 0, 0, 0, but had you watched the meeting, he was there or thereabouts in every race. So,
well, he was definitely there in that race. We'll see the official result of heat number 9 there. Win in white for Luke Harrison, in second in red Kai Ward, in third blue Mickie SIMPSON, and in fourth was Harrison Rodgers.
The next race is looking tasty.
See there the replay of the gates. It was a pretty even breakaway in truth. I mean, obviously Luke predominantly got into the corner first, but the initial drop of the clutch, it was fairly even. But say Luke did look pretty dominant in that one. Kai chased hard for the first couple of laps until he sort of drifted wide on that turn 4, like you said. But
just being smooth out there, that's the main thing in Plymouth. Luke done 4 smooth laps without any mistakes. Here we have the gate stats.
So gate 4 is still the dominant one tonight with 4 race wins.
Which is very strange for me to understand that, because I think every championship match has been the
we were saying earlier, like usually, because obviously it's such short straight, so you're turning pretty much getting, ready for the bike to turn. So unless you're right up against the fence where all the dirt's moved out to, it's usually pretty slick on gate 4.
Yeah, it's very hard, but I was actually, after heat 1, I went down and had a talk with Joe Thompson. He was off gate 4. I said, mate, you made a flyer. And he said, that's actually quite different today, gate 4. He said he's never seen it like that.
Oh, really?
It's actually quite tacky off gate 4. So whether or not there was just a bit extra water put there and they got lucky, but from all the championship matches, very difficult from 4.
As we look at the official starting lineup now for heat number 10, see Cooper Rushen coming off gate 4 on that one, but we'll start from the inside with Ryan Ingram off blue off gate number 1. In 2, in yellow, is Max Perry. Joe Thompson unbeaten so far in red off gate number 3, and Cooper Rushen had that really good first heat win in heat number 3 is off gate number 4.
You could possibly argue that this could be heat 15.
Yeah,
very
most
strong
definitely,
heat,
yeah.
Very high scoring point riders.
So if Ryan Ingram can make another good start, and even if he just sort of gets in the way a bit and makes a bit of bother for himself, that could be a great benefit to Joe as well. See the start marshal now calling the riders up to the tapes. 27-24 now the overall score. I think if you had offered that to the Centurions before the meeting, they probably would have snapped your arm off, but you see the riders getting ready for heat number 10. And we're off. Great start there from Joe Thompson, gate number 3 to get across, and he's gone clean away. See there, Cooper Rushen just coming around teammate Max Perry to grab second place. Cooper looking pretty good in second. See him winding that throttle on, trying to stretch the cable out a little bit. Tassels blowing in the wind. In fairness, he's keeping Joe honest.
He's right up. Joe can't afford to make any mistakes here. Cooper's fast and he's right behind him.
Yeah, obviously Ryan Ingram at the back in this one, but say Cooper Rushen trying to pull some ground up now on Joe Thompson, who's currently got the race under wraps with a lap to go. Obviously Joe using all that championship knowledge and experience to keep Cooper Rushen at bay, but in fairness to Cooper, he's still giving it some beans.
Yeah, he's fighting all the way to the end, and he kept Joe nice and honest.
So there's that keeps Joe's unbeaten record going, and after heat number 10. But no, great effort there from Cooper Rushen. Say won his first heat pretty convincingly, and I was saying earlier, Cooper's not had the best experiences with Plymouth in his last 2 appearances there.
I remember the last one, there was the under-21 qualifier. He had 4 restarts in the first corner, and I spoke to him after the meeting and he was just happy to be going home.
So we see the official result there of heat number 10. In first was Joe Thompson. Second, Cooper Rushen. In third was Max Perry. And bringing up the rear was Ryan Ingram in fourth. So see that, I mean, Joe made a flying start from gate number 3. So the front wheel didn't lift too much, just drove to the corner. I was saying earlier, sometimes even though it looks impressive, you don't want the front wheel to lift too high because it sort of stops your momentum going forward.
Ideally, if you could get the wheel about 4 centimetres off the ground, anything higher, you start to not go forward and go up. But
yeah,
that was a really nice ride by Joe there. The 2 different styles with him and Rushen, you could see Rushen was trying to stretch the cable the whole 4 laps, where Joe was rolling off the throttle, letting the back wheel slow down, hook up, and then power on out of the corners. So it was actually good to see 2 different styles and both be fast, because normally I find here, if you got a full throttle for 4 laps, you kind of miss the racing lines. So how Joe was doing it was probably how I would recommend to get around here.
It's funny, I was talking to a few weeks ago, I was talking to Lassie, and I was saying, like, back when I used to ride, that the laydowns are a lot different to they are now, and the only rider that still sort of rides how you would ride an old laydown is Chris Harris, where he sort of comes in the corner, backs right off, lets the back wheel catch up, and then he sort of powers through.
Well, that's what I found in my last meeting here. I scored okay, and I just found, instead of trying to stretch the cable everywhere you go, to roll off and keep the inside, let the back wheel slow down and pull you off the corners nice.
So we see the official starting lineup here for heat number 11. Going off gate number 1 in white is Jody SCOTT, captain for the Kingsland Young Stars. Off gate 2 in red, hometown hero Ben Trigger. In yellow, off gate number 3 is Arran BUTCHER, who had a good race win in his last heat. And coming off the outside in blue, off gate number 4, is reserve Charlie Southwick. So Ben also unbeaten so far this meeting, so that makes 2 Centurions unbeaten.
I'm pretty sure it was very similar last home meeting to until heat 15, where Joe was excluded and Ben got overtaken.
See riders being called to the start now by the start marshal. Green lights on. And we're off. Great start there from Ben Trigger off gate number 2. I was quite surprised actually that Jody SCOTT didn't make more of a jump off gate number 1, but you can see he's there trying to come under his teammate in yellow, Arran BUTCHER, but Ben leading this race nicely at the moment.
He's riding all the right lines out there, coming in fast, running on the edge of the dirt and getting a nice run off the corners.
See, I think Jody's just trying to get through to see if he can gain some lengths up on Ben, but obviously with each lap ticking down, it's getting harder, but you know, in fairness, Aaron's holding Jody off quite well, even though it's his teammate, but Ben has a quick little look over his shoulder with 1 lap to go, but pretty much got this race sewn up. See, they're coming into the last bend now. Ben Trigger in red helmet, going to go for his nice little wave there. Very reminiscent of Ty Woofenden back in his GP days. So, see Ben Trigger there getting a good reaction then from the crowd. So that's a great ride by Ben. Again, see if he goes for the wheelie. There we go.
It did look like Jody was getting a little held up from Butcher, but I think they were also happy to take a 3-3. Ben got out early with a nice lead.
See there the official result then of heat number 11. It was a win in red for Ben Trigger. In second, Arran BUTCHER in yellow. In third, in white, was Jody SCOTT, and coming in last was Charlie Southwick for the Centurions. But no, as you say, I mean, you could see Jody was probably a little bit quicker. See on the replay, I was quite surprised that Jody didn't. I mean, gate 1 can be hard, I know, with the deep ruts, but he didn't make that jump as well as I thought he would. He sort of.
Well, as you can see, it looks like he got a bit cross-rutted there,
yeah,
and his bike went sideways instead of going forward. But he did look like he had some nice speed, but he was just getting blocked at the start, and I think Ben got away very quickly, and after that he was gone.
Like I say, like, you know, after a couple of laps when Ben's that far in front, is there much point of racing your teammate for points?
Exactly, and then maybe, you know, costing the team points when you can settle for a 3-3, both come back safe and regroup for the next one.
So look at the total scores so far, with the Centurions leading by 3 points, 33 points to 30. Joe Thompson unbeaten, obviously rider replacement at 2, Kai Ward 4, Mickie SIMPSON 1+1. Bit unfortunate for Mickie. I thought he he's worthy of a few more points than that. Ben Trigger also unbeaten. 3+2 from Charlie Southwick and Ryan Ingram 7+1. Another good night for Ryan. So we look at the young stars scores 6+1 for both Jody SCOTT and Arran BUTCHER and Cooper Rushen, in fact. 5 and 2. So that I mean that's the difference. There's
1 to 5 with the Kings Lynn are very even.
Yeah.
Very well-rounded team score there, and 1 and 5 is very strong, heavy. As you can, Joe's Premiership Championship rider. Ben was in the championship, so they show their class at 1 and 5. The Plymouth Centurions.
I mean, it just goes to show. I mean, you look at the sort of rider lineups and especially the averages. Obviously, on paper, Kings Lynn they got 2 riders on 10-point averages and 2 on 8-point averages. It's see the official lineup there for heat number 12. Coming off gate number 1 in yellow is Harrison Rodgers. Off gate number 2 in red, Haywood. Off gate number 3 in white is Cooper Rushen, and off gate number 4 in blue is Ryan Ingram. But yeah, I mean, on paper, Kings Lynn look the dominant team, but it just goes to show 15 heats of Speedway, it's not always on paper.
Oh, exactly, mate. How many times do you go to a meeting thinking it's going to be lopsided because of the names in the team? And at Speedway, anyone can beat anyone. 60 seconds, 4 laps. Who wants it more?
See there, Cooper Rushen just using the steel shoe to pack a rut in. I was saying earlier, different riders, like some like to get all the dirt out, some like to pack it in and make it shiny. It's sort of, again, personal preference on what the rider likes.
Personal preference and the track, you know, like Plymouth, you can't really pack a whole lot in, so you want to normally get it out.
See riders on starters orders now, and we're off.
Beautiful
Good start there from Cooper Rushen. See there, Ryan Ingram having a go around the outside. Kai Ward also beside his teammate. I think really, in retrospect, they'd be best just to let Cooper go in this one and protect the third and the second and third. But Cooper Rushen back to winning ways, looking good. To say he looked good in that last one against Joe Thompson, kept Joe honest. But
is that Ray Ingram?
Ryan Ingram just coming down there. Looks like he's going to try and clear his bike, but the red lights have gone on.
He's up and he's okay, but it looked like it could have been a nasty one, that one.
I was saying earlier as well, like when you get this slick line, it sort of becomes that blue rubber groove. That can act quite grippy with obviously the back wheel when it's hot as well.
I haven't had a chance to look at turns 3 and 4, but sometimes recently there's been a slight bump, and if you're just sitting wrong on the seat as you go into it, it's taken me a few times wide, but we can see here in the replay. Yeah,
He's just running a little bit tighter than Cooper as well, isn't he?
I think he went front wheel over the white line, touched a little bit of untouched material, and went from spinning to lifting, and there's not a lot of room for error here. Once you straighten up on that part of the corner, it's hard to save it.
It was good to see him get up so quick, and see he's obviously trying to get his bike out from under the air fence, but when they go under, they get pretty wedged, don't they?
Yeah, especially when you go under yourself and you can't get out. They're asking, are you okay? Yeah, just trying to get out from under the fence.
I remember the first time I went under an air fence, and when the paramedic got to me, they said it reminded them of Jurassic Park when the Velociraptor's coming out of the egg. Looked like some baby T-Rex or something. But
bit of work going on to the airbags now.
So they got like that little like skirt dressing at the bottom that's meant to prevent anyone from going under the air fence, but obviously when that's lifted, they just need to sort of get that corrected a bit more now.
I think also this season Plymouth have raised the track and put the airbags a little bit lower to stop the riders going completely under the air fence and into the back fence, which is good to see for rider safety. You know, that's unfortunately how Ty Wolfenden was very, very injured at the start of the season, because the airbags were just sitting so high on the track that once the bike touched it, bag goes up, rider goes under. So it's nice to see that they've taken the extra bit of effort to rider safety.
Oh, most definitely. See there, Maximus having a little look, giving his 2 cents worth. Obviously a lot of pressure now, because obviously the Centurions only 3 up, so there's a bit more pressure now on Kai Ward. But I mean, obviously his main focus now will just be to try and split them. Say if Cooper makes a good start again, you'd think really realistically it'd be best to sort of let him go.
He's off gate 2, which is actually quite a nice gate.
Hasn't been too bad tonight either.
I think Cooper did make a really, really good start in that last one. So if Kai can make a half decent start and Cooper doesn't, then you know everything's the race for.
That's it.
It's quite hard to pass around Plymouth. You got to, unless you're Ben Barker, and just put 2 wheels on the airbag.
So as we look at the official lineup now for the rerun of heat number 12, we see going off gate number 1 in yellow is Harrison Rodgers, off gate number 2 in red Kai Ward, and off gate number 3 in white is Cooper Rushen. You get a lot of tassels in Australia?
Never.
Never?
No. Cooper's the first guy I've ever really seen like this day and age, except for Adam Ellis, I think, at the Grand Prix one season he did it.
I remember one rider turned up once with spokey dokies on his spokes and he got told to take them off by the referee, but it looked quite cool actually when he wheeled the bike in.
Looks good for practice, but probably not the safest. Cooper seems like a very nice young kid, very happy.
Yeah.
All the interviews, he's just happy to be riding his bike, which is good to see. But they're the waves up and down of Speedway. When it's good, it's great, and when it's down, you got to still learn to love the sport.
Oh, most definitely. So the riders now getting called to the tapes by the start marshal. Green lights on. And we're away. Another good start there from Cooper Rushen. In fairness, Kai Ward made a pretty good gate, but Cooper just had that edge getting across him in the first turn. Kai's main focus now has got to be just to split them and secure that second place. See, sound Cooper's bike is really revving. He's got it really revving.
He's got sounds like he's got a setup to, really rev, which is not normal for Plymouth. Normally you're trying to kill it, but wow, listen to that thing rev.
Seen a few riders like that in the past, like James Shanes is another one who always had his bikes quite revvy. But I mean, it's working for Cooper, but say his tassel's blowing in the wind. Kai Ward just coming in the shot now in second, just keeping, obviously a fair way off now, but he's got those 2 points, which is great. He's done his job in splitting them. And Cooper Rushen now coming to take the checkered flag.
I think that's also personal preference too. I always find when I have my bike revving that hard that I'm on the edge of crash in every corner, so it's not my preferred setup, but he's really got that thing working and it doesn't look like he's slick. He's got it all under control and it looks like it's hooking up really nice.
So we see there the official winner of heat number 12 in white was Cooper Rushen. We'll bring you the official race results shortly. So we see a win for Cooper Rushen. In second, Kai Ward. In third was Harrison Rodgers, and obviously Ryan Ingram was excluded in the initial running of that heat number 12.
Yeah, they're slowly pulling that lead back.
See there at the start. So Kai made a pretty good gate, but Cooper just had that little bit momentum to get across him in that first corner, which kind of killed his run. But that was a great ride from Cooper.
Yeah, he looked really fast out in front, nice and smooth also.
I like seeing Cooper win because when he goes around on his parade lap and waves, he has a wave that's very reminiscent of Queen Elizabeth II. It's very, very proper.
Goes with the tassels.
Oh, most definitely. So yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to have an interval now or some track grading. You can see the ruts there. There's see on gate number 1, it was pretty crisscrossy. Maybe that's what Jody SCOTT got caught on there. You can see that they're fairly heavy and close together. So obviously gate number 1 being quite narrow, it's good chance that Jody did cross rut there and sort of snake away. But I mean, they all look, fairly even.
Number 1 looked very. You can see gate 4. There's predominantly 2 ruts that you got to go from. Gate 1 looked quite deep, like too deep.
Yeah.
Like I think maybe he bottomed out a bit also on the exhaust, and it kicked him sideways, and it was a bit of an unsatisfactory start.
So you've got some young lads out now on the 50cc's. I think I can hear a PW50 joining them as well, which is always good to hear. A lot of riders start on PW50s when they're kids, so it's good to see kids still riding them these days. In fairness, it's probably the same ones we ride. They're pretty bulletproof.
They're probably quicker than us at the moment. Looks like they're going from the tapes here, which is a nice, cool experience for him in front of the crowd.
It's the first time we've seen the 50s down here, so I don't know if it's to do with Barry's My First Skid training schools over the island, possibly, but
Smallest one on the smallest bike, PW50. Classic.
Power to weight ratio, I think I'm putting him on for 3 points here.
Yeah, I'd go with that. I always like watching the kids at the grass tracks in the auto cadet class because it sounds like a herd of bees coming towards you if you stood the other end of the track.
It's like when you watch the 250 meetings from the start.
Yeah. And I say it's a cool experience from the tapes and stuff as well. Got like their dads with them and stuff. Bit more reminiscent of motocross, but
This is where it all starts. We all started here one day. Oh, inside's cross-rutted.
having the time of their lives. It's good now that sun's just dropped behind the trees as well, so that's no longer going to cause an issue. But no, loving it. Fans giving them a bit of a cheer as well, which is always nice. All pretty close together still, which is good. Unfortunately, I got none of their names, so I don't know who any of the little lads are. But it's quite funny because I think the last time we had 50s like this race, and it's when Ben Trigger was on a 50 when he was mascot. So it's just shows you start somewhere and you end up somewhere else if you keep progressing with it.
Exactly. We all started here one day. This is where I started back in Australia on these small bikes, and just keep progressing through the ranks, keep giving it your best, and I'm sure they all inspire to be up in the championship and the premiership in the future.
Is it just Speedway you done, or do you do motocross or other
I used
stuff?
to race flat track, so
Okay.
the motocross bike
Yeah,
on a speedway track kind of as such. I was, won quite a few state and Australian championships on that, but there was no real future in it. That's when we decided to make the switch to speedway. And yeah, as I said before, my dad was best friends with Todd Wilshire,
yeah.
so he obviously grew up around Todd racing and stuff like that, so he got me into that, and that's how we got here today.
Coolest guy in wall sport, Todd Wiltshire.
Fastest man in 20 metres. Well, we've got a nice move up the inside here.
Oh.
That's Ben Barker style, that one.
On the last bend as well. Look at that, to the checkered flag. Oh,
We have to go to transponders for that.
most definitely. That's fantastic. It's amazing they make Alpine Stars that small. Gonna go around for a little victory lap now. It's always good to see. You see Barry Bishop there, the team manager of the Centurions, also obviously runs the Isle of Wight track. Just telling the lads to go around and have a little wave to the crowd. It's all part of it, it's good for them, makes them feel important, makes them, feel like proper riders and stuff, and it's good to see Barry encouraging the next generation of riders around. Giving them a nice little round of applause. I must say that's one great thing with Barry is his connection with the kids, especially at his My First Skid schools. It's pretty special to watch. I've been down to a few of the training sessions he's done here. I've got to say he's got a wonderful relationship with the youngsters. See the dads now trying to catch him. Very cute indeed. They say there's a lot of proud dads and a lot of nervous mums, I'd imagine, watching that.
It's great that sun's going down now. I think it's going to open up the track a lot better.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see if Mark puts a dabble more water on it at all. I mean, it's obviously a bit harder now with the sun gone down because you haven't got that heat as much to sort of dry it out a bit. But say that slick line's gone pretty halfway as well, hasn't it? So it's
And a little bit of water on that inside now makes it really icy, so it's actually quite difficult to ride. So if he does put a bit of water on the inside, I think you'll find the experienced riders like Joe and Ben will probably try to go to the outside where it's a bit more safer. But if he puts some water on the outside, it opens up that two different race lines. So it should be hopefully the big races to come, 13 and 15. I think will be very great to see.
I mean, it's quite a contrast now because we were sort of saying earlier, like obviously where it's so slick on the inside now, like that's one quick way of going around, especially if you can get your back wheel nice and hot as well. But like
where it's opened up a little bit more on the outside, you see maybe riders like Ben Trigger, Joe Thompson, maybe Jody SCOTT, that sort of thing, going more for the outside. But I mean, Cooper Rushen in his last heat had it pretty dialed in on the inside. Obviously, his bike was pretty revvy, so it probably worked well on the slick line.
I think what you find in Plymouth here is once it gets down to that blue groove, if you can make the start and stay on down low, it's very, very hard for them to come around you. If you can block that outside run on them on the straights, then unless they have a really, really good run and they want to dive bomb you.
See there, Charlie Southwick. He rides there. Not a lot of changes going on now. I think everyone's pretty well set up for the remaining 3 heats of tonight. But I'd say a few familiar faces. I think I saw Henning Loof. He's going to have some laps in the second half. It's good to see Henning back on the bike. I was talking about him last week, actually, saying how he used to ride for Somerset and Mildenhall and stuff. So it's good to see him sort of make a return back to the sport. See there, Joe Thompson, unbeaten so far. Take a venture over to the Kingsland Young Stars pit area. See there, Luke Harrison had a pretty dominant race win in his last one. Obviously had mechanical gremlins to start with, but seems to have overcome them pretty nicely. I know Jason Pipe will want to win tonight because the last time he come down was 2023 when the Centurions were running then, and he come down with Armadale or Edinburgh, and it was 2 teams that were literally dead even all the way through, and it was such a close meeting. And I think when he come down years before that with Buxton, it was a very similar thing. Like, he was always so close to winning here.
We've got the same again here tonight, 35-34. The race where it was a 3-0, I think, hurt Plymouth a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, an extra 2 point, could have had a 3-point lead here, but they've still got the lead. 3 races to go, and it's any man's game.
That's it. I mean, say, looking at heat number 13 now, it's a pretty... Say, Luke seems to have got himself set up and sort of overcome those mechanical issues he had early on. And, you know, Jody has been quick. He was unfortunate in his last race to sort of cross-rut and sort of snake coming out at the start. But he's a rider capable of winning races. So, but in saying that, Joe and Ben are both unbeaten. It was good to see the last Centurions meeting when heat 13 come around, because sort of Joe let Ben go and just sort of guarded him a little bit.
Yeah, no, it was good. I think they're, what have they got, 1 and 3? I think they're probably the preferred gate you would want.
Yeah.
But then who's off gate 2? Jody. Luke Harrison, like, I'm not sure what the stats are now, but gate 4 has been very good tonight.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't count Luke Harrison out off the outside.
Yeah, we got the gate stats up here now. So we got gate 4 still with 4 wins.
Exactly, yeah. So
gate 3
very even all around.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, you know, there's only a 2 race difference between gate 1 and 4, so it's gate 1 hasn't been awful all night.
No.
You know, but it's obviously gate 4 still the preferred gate. But I think if anyone can make a decent gate from gate 1, it'd probably be Joe.
Exactly, yeah.
See, there are a few riders. Ryan Ingram talking to his sponsor there with his Exeter Falcons program board. Very retro. So a few drippy foreheads with some of those riders, I say.
Yeah, I'm sure they're keen for the shower after and get into some normal clothes. Now that sun's gone down, the temperatures drop quite a lot quickly, so a few of the experienced boys might be making a few changes. But
I remember going to iWade, this is probably back in 2006. It was a day like today, baking hot afternoon meeting, dripping wet, go to the change rooms after, showers aren't working. I was like, oh no, we've got a cameraman behind us. There we go.
See, I'm actually bald under this hat, but it's an illusion.
That's our little TV that we get to watch the racing on.
It's like Crystal Maze, that. Say, it's nice to have you join me for this latter part. I was, you know, I can now see what my wife says at home when I like the sound of my own voice. It does get a bit irritating after a while, but...
No, I always come down for these meetings because even earlier I was down in the pits trying to help the boys out and try. Mickie was struggling a bit after that first one. I just told him, you know, like just basic stuff, but if I can have an impression being a championship rider, sometimes that's all they need. I know what it was like when I was younger. Just tell them, you know, like it's just one bad race, you know, forget about it and after I
So
go
are
out.
you based locally while you're here?
In
or?
Soldash, yeah.
Okay, so, awesome.
Only up the road. I got home about 4 a.m. this morning from Scunthorpe,
Nice.
so I was in bed for a while, and then
But you're never so happy to see that Tamar Bridge.
yeah. I like going to Soldash, but when you come into Plymouth, you got to pay for it, so I don't really like it.
Yeah.
I got a left-hand drive van. I was coming alone once, and I pulled up to the bridge. I had to put it in park and climb over and pay.
Oh, God. That must have been quite funny seeing a Polish van with an Aussie climbing over there. Must have thought, what the hell is going on here?
I had someone stop and start speaking Polish to me once, and I was like, yeah, I'm not Polish, mate.
Dziękuję.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said, dziękuję. I said, proszę.
Brilliant.
So yeah, 3 big heats to go now. 13,
I gotta
14,
say,
15.
I've said it a couple of times earlier before you come up and join, but like with the weather, especially as how hot it's been all week, like I'm pretty impressed with how the track's coping with that. In fairness, I think Mark and the team have done a pretty good job in getting it not just rideable but raceable as well.
And the same with our last championship match. The track was really, really good. We had obviously the expected rain, so he was very limited to what he could do with the track, but we had that small downfall during the meeting, but after that, no rain came, and the track was one of the best I've ever ridden on it.
We were saying, I was talking to a friend of mine last week at the Scunthorpe meeting, and we noticed you weren't wearing your Plymouth race suit, and we said, is that a good omen because you started so on fire? Like, don't wear your Plymouth race suit for the rest of the season.
I said that to Mark, but honestly, I always keep my Kevlars upstairs over the railing, and for some reason they were put downstairs out the back. So when I left for the meeting, I thought, I must already have them in the van, and it wasn't until 30 minutes before the meeting when I went to get dressed that I noticed I didn't have them. And I don't live far away, but I didn't even have time to go home and get them.
About to pay for the bridge twice.
Yeah. What about to ask Mark for a pay rise? But yeah, so I was lucky. I just had a yellow set of Kevlars in the back, so I was like, they look as close to Plymouth as possible. And I started with 2 wins, and then I started thinking, maybe I shouldn't wear. Yeah.
We're gonna take a look at a previous heat.
Got Ben Trigger off of the inside here in gate 1 in red, Senna Summers off gate 2 in white, and Charlie Southwick off gate 3 in blue. Arran Butcher's place being vacated. So tapes up, away they go, and Trigger has made a much better start this time, and Charlie Southwick has got across the front of Senna Summers as well. So all of a sudden Senna Summers has gone from leading this race to finding himself out the back.
And that often is what happens in Speedway. We never rerun, but he's got around Charlie Southwick there, and Southwick comes back brilliantly underneath him to regain second place. Great scrap going on between these 2 youngsters here.
Charlie Southwick not willing to give up that second place at all there. He went back underneath Senna Summers, forced the issue and got himself back into that 5-1 position there behind Ben Trigger. Tremendous determination from Charlie Southwick. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, and Senna Summers now well adrift at the back, and he'll be so upset that race was rerun. Of course it had to be, but he was going to pick up 3 points. He's now only going to pick up 1 point. That's a great 5-1 for the Centurions, and that really puts them in the driving seat in this meeting.
A great 5-1 for the Centurions, and another fantastic ride from one of these 2 young reserves here.
Cluff in blue off gate 1 for the Gladiators. Zach Cook in white for the Pirates. Lassie Fredrickson, he's out in red for the Gladiators in gate 3. And Daryl Richings, who's got gate 4 in yellow for the Pirates.
You know, Lassie Fredrickson is slotted into the main body well. Can they bring home another maximum?
Here we go for heat number 14. That's a great gate there from Zach Cook. He's coming under pressure around the outside by Lassie Fredrickson. Can he squeeze through? He's got through, Lassie Fredrickson. It didn't look like there was room there, but he's managed to squeeze between the fence and Zach Cook, and he leads over the start-finish line.
That was absolutely superb racing by both. There was plenty of room given, and Lassie Fredrickson snuck round the outside. Unfortunately, Mitchell Cluff came under a little bit of pressure to Daryl Richards. Now, Zach Cook has got a lap and a half to go. He's going up the inside of Fredrickson. This is fantastic racing. Plenty of room given, and Fredrickson holds the place. 1 lap to go. Can he hold him off?
Yeah, Zach Cook putting him under all sorts of pressure here, trying the inside line this time. Lassie Fredrickson just about holding on at the front. And this, if he can hang on here, it's going to be a 10-point lead for the Gladiators, and Jack Cook trying all the way to the finish line there, but Fredrickson just doing it. I see Fredrickson in red for the Gladiators coming in as a rider replacement here. Paul Stark is alongside him in gate 2 in yellow. Mitchell Cluff as a reserve ride for Ben Trigger in blue in gate 3. And we've got Anders Rowe. He's got 7 points tonight, as did Tobias Thompson when he had that outside gate. Heat number 12. Anders Roaster, not quite. He made a good gate, but got forced out. He's at the back, and there's a battle going down that back straight, and there goes Mitchell Cluff around Lassie Fredrickson, and the Gladiators at the moment on a 5-1, but Paul Stark putting them under a lot of pressure there.
Where has this come from? Where on earth has this come from? Lassie Fredrickson will now try and guide home Mitchell Cluff. We said beforehand this was a reward for Mitchell Cluff. He's repaying Gary May handsomely here. What can Paul Stark and Anders Rowe do? So uncharacteristic, but it's gate 4. It's the graveyard tonight. 1 lap to go. Come on, boys.
Good effort here by Paul Stark, trying to split the Gladiators duo, but he's got less than a lap to do it, and I think it's going to be a little bit too much for Stark here. But Mitchell Cluff, another masterstroke by Gary May to bring him in as a reserve ride, and that's a great 5-1 for the Gladiators.
Massive embrace for Lassie Fredrickson and Mitchell Cluff. Fair play to Mitchell Cluff. We said beforehand what a good night he was having. Brilliant for Mitchell Cluff. I'm delighted for him.
Excellent heat winner there for the Gladiators in blue. Lassie Fredrickson in red coming home second. It's Paul Stark who battled all the way there in third place in yellow. Anders Rowe, as we said, off that fourth out.
It was nice to watch back that race.
That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was a good meeting. You know, to knock off Paul at home is not an easy feat, and we've done it twice this year. And I think, you know, we've got a really good team, and you know, we haven't got a lot of points on the table, but we've been so close in so many meetings. Like, to lose to Scunthorpe at home in Heat 15 was, you know, a hard pill to swallow. We led the whole match. Even in Scunthorpe away, we only lost by 10 points, where they're quite often doing 20 on teams. So we're there or thereabouts. It's just not really getting the cherry at the end of the meeting. So that's what we're all trying to work on now. And hopefully when we go to the doubleheader next week, Edinburgh Friday night and Berwick Saturday, we can definitely come home with some points.
No, it's kind of like the sort of common thing with Plymouth, always like sort of close but no cherry on top. But I mean, there's a lot of positives to be taken from you boys. Like, you know, giving that. I mean, I know like Nikolai has obviously dropped down, but a lot of these tracks he hasn't ridden before, hasn't ridden for a long time. Yourself, obviously, every track you've gone to is a brand new experience. As it, you know, Lassie has had a season here, but you know, you need a couple really to find
just to get the riders together. Like, as you've seen in that last race, me and Lasse, we're really good friends. We raced together in Sweden for 2 years, so we know how each other rides. When I noticed it was him on the inside, I just opted to go to the outside, and I don't know where they were behind. So if I was blocking the run on the outside, he's blocking the run on the inside, then it's pretty hard to pass around Plymouth. So yeah, we were working together nicely there, and when you get out in front, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, it looked like Lee Adams out in front then. So like when you go back to Australia, and obviously your summertime but our winter and that, do you do much riding when you go back home, or?
Yeah, obviously the main thing, I go back and I work, and just to try, all the money I make back in Australia I invest back in my equipment for the next season. So I try to do as much racing as I can. Last year I won the South Australian State Championships and qualified for the Australian Championships, which is quite a feat in itself, to be fair. When you see the lineup, we got the likes of Brady Kurtz, Jack Holder. Yeah. You know, sometimes the Australian Championships is the hardest race I've ever been in. So yeah, I try to do as much time on the bike as possible, so that when I come back in March, I'm not rusty. I'm relatively been on and off the bike compared to the European riders who unfortunately just have to.
Yeah, I think one of the only European riders I really know of that doesn't really have a day off is Paco Castagna. Like, as soon as the season's ended, he's straight over to like Argentina or somewhere, and he's...
Yeah, and you can see Sam Hagen's been coming out to Australia, so
I think he's benefited massively from
look at you know, just more time on the bike. The tracks in Australia can be quite difficult too. We got a lot of technical tracks, and we have a few big tracks, small tracks, and they're very different. So yeah, I try to do as much riding as I can, but at the same time, I also want to have a rest and prepare for the next year. So I try to aim to just do the state championships and, you know, the big ones against the big riders to really test to see where you're at.
Ideal. I mean, obviously with it being your summer, it's obviously a lot hotter out there. Did the bikes run I was mentioning earlier, like how humidity and like heat can change like some of the jetting you'd use in the cars. Is it a completely different setup there to what you'd run over here in the summer, or is it?
Not really, to be honest. It's just obviously, like we had a bit of heat today, you could see how quick the track dried out. So obviously the track's a bit slicker. So they're the changes I look at more rather than what the temperature is. Like, you know, if it's an overcast day and there's a lot of material, then you set it up for the power. But if it's really, really hot and it's going to get slick quickly, you want to try kill the engine a bit. Sure. But I don't think too much about the heat. It's just trying to deal with it myself. You know, like the Australian Championships, some of the days are like high 30s, low 40 degrees, and once you got your Kevlars and your helmet on, it's a bit
I'd rather just sit on the bank with a beer and watch, in all honesty. So I saw in the just before they'd done the kids running race that Mark did put a tiny bit of water around the outside. I think a bit of it did go sort of mid-track, but it doesn't look like too shiny out there where it's sort of look at the gate stats there again. So
most points have come from the outside. Gate 2, even though it's had the average of heat wins similar, but a little bit less in the points. So as we can see, you definitely want to be, looks like the outside 2 gates, but they're all very even tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty good actually.
I wouldn't pick in heat 15. Normally, you know exactly, we want 1 and 3 or 2 and 4, but I think to be the team that doesn't get to choose heat 15, I think you're going to be quite happy if it's going to be a heat 15 decider.
Yeah, sure. I see the riders coming out now for heat 13. Could potentially be the lineup for heat 15 as well.
We've got 2 maximum riders here too, so hopefully the Plymouth Centurions can extend their lead.
Say with that 3-0, it's give us a pretty random score of 35-34, so obviously the Centurions will look to sort of break away from that a little bit now. You see the official riding order for heat number 13. Coming off gate 1 in red, the unbeaten Joe Thompson. In gate number 2 in white is Jody Scott. Also unbeaten off gate number 3 in blue is Ben Trigger. And off the outside is Luke Harrison in yellow.
Although the points look quite largely different, I would not count out the Kings Lynn
Definitely not.
Here. They're 2 good riders off good gates. So
I think it's always fun as well that interval stage can like act as a resurge for it as well.
Exactly, you know, they've had probably 20-minute rest now. They've thought about some things, and
sun's gone down a bit. It's not as hot. It's a lot more relaxed out there to be riding.
35 seconds left on the clock. Start Marshall will start calling them up in a second.
See there, a few of them doing a little bit of gardening. Joe's just sort of chilling, playing with his clutch lever, as is Luke Harrison.
Also, when you're looking at these gates, you can see some of them aren't straight, so that's what you try to avoid. You want to try to find a rut that's going to take your bike straight all the way to the corner.
So the rider's ready at the tapes now, ready for the green light to come on. Good start there for Jody Scott in white. Leading the pack there, Luke Harrison's also come through, but Joe Thompson fighting back into second. Ben Trigger, you can see there at the back, pushing on, trying to get through past Luke Harrison. At the moment, the race win still with Jody Scott out in front. Luke Harrison putting Joe Thompson under a little bit of pressure now. But Joe just managing to find him off. You can see Joe's riding slightly wider than what Luke is. Just trying to find that maybe a little bit at the edge. But no, Jody looks like he's got the race sewn up nicely. Joe just catching up a little bit there, trying to put the pressure on.
Looks like Ben Trigger's kill switch just fell out.
See there, Joe just reining him in that little bit more. But I think Jody's got this one under wraps.
Wow, that was an upset.
Yeah.
Like I said though, you can't count them out. We had 2 unbeaten riders, but they're all quality riders here, and it's any man's game.
So the winner there was Jody SCOTT, and now it flips around. So we've got the Kingsland Stars leading by 1 point with 2 heats remaining. We'll get the official race result now. See, it was a win for Jody SCOTT in white. In second in red was Joe Thompson. In third in yellow was Luke Harrison, and at the back was Ben Trigger. It's always the worst thing. If they're not going to win the meeting, at least they've ruined the maximums. But no, I'm not sure if Ben had bike problems then, because he was a little bit off towards the end of the race.
What's the start here from gate 2? Just got over
Just
Joe
got
Thompson
over him,
there.
yeah.
Was able to close the door down.
See, I thought Luke was going to come round him as well then, but he done pretty well just to fight him off going into the corner.
Very crucial to make a start here. I think Ben, he was at the back, and then I seen on turn 3 and 4 his kill switch and fell out. But he got it going again, and the bike sounded to be going all right. So hopefully he can just make a better start in 15. And
I mean, looking at this heat now, it's I mean, on paper, seeing what the riders have done, we'll look at the official lineup now for heat 14. See there in white, Max Perry off gate 1. In blue off gate 2 is Charlie Southwick. In yellow off gate 3 is Calum MITCHELL. And off the outside in gate 4 in red is Mickie SIMPSON. Obviously, Mickey's had a bit of a tough night by his own sort of standards.
hopefully that, like you said, that reset in that interval, you can forget about it and finish on a good note, because you know, it makes the drive home a lot easier. Even if you have a bad night and you finish on a win, then it makes that drive home a lot easier.
What's the saying in Speedway? You're only as good as your last race.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, worst case scenario, the Centurions will be looking for a 3-3 here, just to try and split them and then take it to a last heat decider, which is never fun, but
it's fun for us. It's fun for the fans.
Most
so,
definitely.
Yeah, if a 3-3, just don't want to lose this heat, because then it comes down to they need a 5-1. So if they can just keep it 1 point down, you know, anything can happen in the last race.
See the start marshal there calling the riders up to tapes. I know Charlie Southwick's probably the most inexperienced one in the Centurions team, but he ain't afraid to push riders out the way if he needs to.
No, he's all in.
See the riders at the tapes now, green light ready to go on. And we're away. Good start there from Max Perry. See there, Charlie Southwick going into second with Max. Mickie SIMPSON, sorry, in red. Oh, Charlie just needs to...
Stay on the bike, mate. Stay on the bike.
Just need to ride 4 smart laps. Say now that we split them, no heroics. Just keep it going on the racing line for 4 laps. He done well to hold up onto that, in fairness to Charlie, because those sort of moments can be a bit sketchy. You see Charlie there just riding out a little bit wider than he has been in previous heats. Max Perry looking smooth as hell.
Oh, Max has had a problem with his bike.
I was only saying earlier, sometimes someone's bad luck is someone's good luck, and in our case that's brilliant luck. So that's turned from a 3-3 to a 5-1. Unfortunate there for Max Perry.
Well, that just threw a spatter in the works for Kings Lynn. They're gonna need a 5-1 in heat 15 for the win. I believe Plymouth have the gate selection for heat 15 also.
That's happened a couple of times. You see the official race result there. It was a win in blue for Charlie Southwick. In second, teammate Mickie SIMPSON. In third, Calum MITCHELL. And at the back, unfortunately with an engine failure, was Max Perry. Hearing that it's Charlie Southwick's first win of the national trophy. So that's fantastic for Charlie to get his first race win.
And it's such a crucial time too.
Oh, exactly. You see there the gate.
What a start from the inside from Max Perry.
Yeah, he was gone, wasn't he? He looked nice and smooth, in control. And say that's the second time that's happened tonight for Kingsland, where they've been on the wrong end of an engine failure. Say Charlie done super well to hold on to that. Very
well to hold on. Also to Mickey for not running straight into the back of him. So it's always scary when, you know, you get it all wrong in the corner and you're just hoping the guy behind you's not going to clean you up. So he done a very good job there not to cloud him.
I was saying earlier, like with Charlie, because he's quite tall, and you see he's got that more leg trailing sort of riding style. Like with yourself, you're a little bit more like sat on the bike. It's just weird how the bike can react different, you know, depending on the style of the rider and
I
stuff.
think here we see, his keel switch has come out. His keel switch fell out. Same thing that happened to Ben Trigger.
The ghost of turn 3.
And as I say, that was really unfortunate for Max, but great for the Centurions, and good that they held on and made no mistakes to that last lap.
You can see there Barry talking to the boys who's going to go what gate. I would probably say Joe will take 2.
Yeah.
Trigger maybe off 4. I'm sure Ben doesn't want to go from 4, but Joe's only dropped 1 point, so I think it's hard to argue with.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes that's the worst thing with being second scorer. You know, you've had a great night, but you just get told what gate you're off in heat 15. So
See Maximus there playing up to the kids in the crowd, always good to see. Jason Pipe looking a little peeved, respectably so, after that heat 14 with Max Perry. Looks like they're going to go with
Jody
Harrison
Scott
and Jody Scott.
Yep.
So it's not confirmed yet, but
that was obviously from heat 13,
yeah,
where they scored a 4-2. So I think they're going to be feeling confident too. Just comes down to what gates, really. Hey,
what I like to see is, like, say, obviously it's only the 2 riders from Plymouth going out in 15, but to see all the riders sort of involved in that chat and, you know, what would be best, it's always good to see, I think.
Yeah, and, you know, team spirit's a big thing. Like, a lot of, as much of an individual sport it is, it's also a team sport. And, you know, when the match is on the line in heat 15 and you got your whole team there behind you, it's a nice feeling.
So they get the heat 15 confirmation shortly. So there are still a few little talks going on in the pits with Kings Lynn. See Clark of the course there, Rob Doran, going over to get the official verdict from Jason Pipe.
I'm sure Max Perry isn't feeling the best right now. He's done what he had to do there just to keep him 1 point.
It's always the
up.
worst thing, and he's literally done nothing wrong at all apart from...
it just looked like he hit those bumps coming out of 4,
Yeah.
and it just bounced that kill switch out.
We saw earlier with the race when Arran Butcher got excluded and he sort of like overlocked coming out of 4, and I'm not sure if he did, but the way he locked up and stopped, it looked like he maybe threw a chain or something.
Nah, so my interpretation of that one was, I think it was Mickie SIMPSON got all out of shape in front of him, and he basically had to do everything he could to stop,
right,
and almost crashed. And then obviously I think he believed that Mickie should have been a restart, and you can't stop in Speedway. If the ref thinks it should be stopped, he'll stop it. So you just got to keep racing, and yeah, that's what happened in that situation.
Cool, so we're just waiting for that final confirmation of the rider lineup in heat 15.
Jody SCOTT is putting the yellow helmet colour on there.
It'd be interesting to see...
what would you pick if you had choice of 15 on gate selections?
I think I would go 2 and 4.
2 and 4?
Personally, just because gate 1's been good when you've made it, but it's just that risk of it being so deep there with so many ruts close together.
Having the lead with Plymouth 2, I would be putting Joe off gate 2 and just saying win it. Win it. You know, like they don't need a heat advantage here. They just can't have a 5-1.
So. Oh, 100%. You know, it's let's say
Cooper Rushen there.
Cooper Rushen's had a good night as well, so it's, you know, it's say
Joe's
Thompson
off red, so Ben Trigger will be blue. Luke Harrison will be white, and gate selections we will soon find out.
Have you got a favoured gate you like around here?
2 and 3.
2 and 3.
But I've never seen 4 be so good, unlike tonight.
Yeah.
You know, normally Normally one's good at the start of the meeting, but as you can see, it just looks like the ruts off gate 1 get quite large.
Yeah.
So I found every time I always get gate 1 at the end of the meeting, and when I line up to the thing, I don't know where to go. So.
In blue, Ben Trigger. Ben Trigger in blue. For the young stars in white is Luke Harrison.
I'm sure Jody and Luke Harrison are feeling a little bit pressure here. They
most definitely.
basically have to get a 5-1 to win it. So.
Yeah. Plymouth gone for 2 and 4. So as predicted, the final verdict for the rider lineup for Heat 15 is in. Joe Thompson red, Ben Trigger blue, Luke Harrison white, and Jody SCOTT in yellow, with the Centurions taking gates 2 and 4.
So Joe Thompson gate 2, Ben Trigger gate 4, Luke Harrison white gate 1, and Jody SCOTT gate 3.
It was a very good prediction.
Yeah, like I said, if they were 1 point down, it would have been a very tough decision, but I would just take gate 2 and say to Joe, just get out in front, mate, and go. But you can see here, Luke Harrison is kicking a lot of dirt around in that gate number 1.
You just see how deep it is there on gate 1. So as we look at the official lineup for heat number 15, you can see in there in white off gate number 1 is Luke Harrison, and red off gate number 2, Joe Thompson. In yellow off gate number 3, Jody SCOTT, and off the outside in gate 4 in blue is Ben Trigger. So there was you could just see how deep those ruts are on, especially on the outer of gate 1. It's for me that would have been too much of a gamble. Just seeing what happened to Jody earlier on in the meeting and stuff. I'd say Ben made a pretty good gate from gate 4 earlier as well. So I mean, if they can both sort of get out and get on it. So
there's Mark Phillips, all smile out the front. I'm sure he'll be happy with the boys. 3 points up with 1 to go. I think it's going to be, it's all on Joe, and obviously gate 4 is, I think, still the favourite. So we haven't seen a whole lot of race winners off it towards the end of the meeting, which is kind of
sort of making that transition now, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's going to be tough for Ben to come from the outside. All riders getting called up now.
So I mean, we know gate 1 can produce a good start. I mean, Max Perry made a blinding one there until he broke down in 14. See riders ready. Here we go.
Beautiful.
Great start there from the Centurions. Joe Thompson getting over the top of Luke Harrison. Oh, a little bit of bother there. You can see Ben Trigger just holding in the second with Jody SCOTT. Looks like Luke Harrison's broke down again. Jody SCOTT now giving chase to Ben Trigger, but currently the Centurions on a 5-1. You can see Jody is giving a hard chase to Ben though. See that line's moved out a little bit further now. Joe just riding on the edge of that dirt line just to give him maximum traction around the track. Ben opting to go a little bit tighter.
Jody SCOTT's pushing him here.
See Jody SCOTT still pushing hard there in third place. Still pushing there to the last bend. It's not going to be enough tonight though for the Kings Lynn Young Stars. With the Centurions just hanging on for the 5-1.
What a meeting.
Well,
congratulations to the Plymouth Centurions.
100%. I mean, if you had said that result at the beginning of the meeting, I maybe would have doubted it a little bit. Nothing against the Centurions,
7-point
but
victory's not a bad night.
No, it was a great way to end the meeting, secure that win. That's 2 home wins now for the Centurions. And they've had 2 pretty good away meetings as well, actually. See there, Joe Thompson now picking up the wheelie.
Oh, he almost flipped it.
That would have been a way to finish your meeting. See there, the official result then of Heat 15. Joe Thompson, it was the winner. In second, his teammate Ben Trigger. In third, Jody SCOTT. And unfortunately, breaking down once again tonight, Luke Harrison in fourth. Which brings the total score to 47-40 to the Plymouth Centurions.
Yeah, I think Luke Harrison had a few bike problems tonight, which probably wasn't ideal for the Kings Lynn team. Joe Thompson, 14 points. You know, it's always hard when you got riders like that. I think Ben finished on 11 plus 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And that's on the last as well, so that's a
very strong from Plymouth 1 and 5.
No, it's good to see. You say it's good. Good to see all the boys out on track, congratulating them as well. Got a feel for Luke Harrison though. He's had a good meeting, but unfortunately had 2 engine failures.
Also for Max Perry, a lot of, that's Speedway. It happens to all of us. We've all had those meetings where, it's tight. Both teams, obviously they got the 3-0 also.
Yeah.
So that's so many things that play a factor, but at the end of the day, they both had their ups and downs, and Plymouth come out on top.
And certainly did. So we'll get a rundown of the individual scores shortly. See there, Joe Thompson 14 points from a possible 15. Obviously no rider at number 2. Kai Ward finishing on 6. That's not a bad effort from Kai, considering it started off a little bit tough for him. Mickie SIMPSON 3 and 2. Obviously started off tough as well, but it was good to see him get that paid win in his last heat. Ben Trigger 11 plus 1, which is not bad at all considering he got a last place. Charlie Southwick 6 and 2.
Plus his first win in the National League.
Fantastic to see that. And Ryan Ingram 7 plus 1 with that spill when he was in second, so it could have been a few more.
Yeah, it could have been 10 points, which is, I'm sure he'd be stoked with that.
But we look on to the Kings Lynn Young Stars scores now. 10 plus 1 for Jody SCOTT, 6 plus 1 for Arran BUTCHER, 9 plus 1 for Cooper Rushen. It's good from Cooper. I'm sure that's going to put his mind a bit more at ease after his 2 previous visits.
Paid 10 out of 12. Not bad.
Not a bad result at all. Max Perry, very unfortunate to get 5 plus 2.
He should have finished on 8 plus 2.
Yeah,
he was well and truly out in front, but Speedway.
Luke Harrison 6, obviously unfortunately a couple engine failures tonight, and it was always going to be a struggle for the Kings Lynn reserves. Obviously their first time coming here. I believe they're pretty new to Speedway as well, so a little bit different to what they're used to at the Adrian Flux Arena up at Kings Lynn. It's about 100 metres difference, maybe just a little bit more.
That's just to the first corner,
just
isn't
to the first corner.
Here we see the boys going for their victory lap now to wave to the fans.
See all the young riders that we saw earlier on the PW50s and stuff also joining them, which was nice to see, as well as mascot Ezra. So it's got to be good for Barry. Say two home meetings, 2 home wins. It's got to fill in with confidence as well, especially because they come up against 2 of the stronger teams so far in the trophy, and they've come out dominant. So
being strong at home is your main focus, I think, in the season. It's always going to be tough when you go away, whether you have a strong team or a weak team, because sometimes just being at home has that extra advantage. So just trying to make sure you get those home victories, and when you're on the road, if you can take some points, then it's a bonus.
100%. So there we see the final score for tonight: 47 to the Centurions and 40 to the Kings Lynn Young Stars. I believe it's the 13th of August. The Centurions will make the trip to Kings Lynn. Be a vastly different night up there with a much more clay-based circuit. Have you been to Kings Lynn yet?
Nah, never been. But there you can see is our next championship match. We'll be travelling up to Edinburgh Monarchs. If you want to live stream, it'll be on Edinburgh Monarchs TV.
So a new track for you as well.
Yeah, another new track, and Berwick will be a new track also. So yeah, I think we can. I've been told that it's similar to Plymouth, but a bit longer, so
a bit grippier as well.
Yeah,
but in a good way.
Yeah.
So next home meeting, it's a special one for me because it's my birthday. I can't remember how old I'm going to be. It's 35 or 36,
something like that. So if you come down and support the boys, and we've got a tough fixture against the Oxford, but we gave them a very good run for their money when they were here earlier in the year. So I think now that we've got sorted out our home track, I think I believe we can beat them at home.
Most definitely. See the Centurions there just coming into shot with Maximus following on the chopper. Brilliant night from the boys. They all done what they done. So as the night draws to a close, a great win for the Centurions. From myself and Mitchell, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. Hope you've had a beautiful night watching some great Speedway.
And until next time, we will see you again.